Showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday, sunny with a high near 87. Sunday, sunny with a high near 85. And Monday, chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
So, off to school with that young adult of yours. Like most parents, you probably got your kid a nice car. Not a new car, but maybe a Stage 2 car. 4 or 5 years old, no warranty to speak of, and you've got that car packed with an old futon, plastic bins, and ramen noodles. Nice. But don't forget to bring that Stage 2 car here. Hello? Lauterbach man talking to you from high above the 7 bays at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Before you send your student down the road, bring that car in for a Stage 2 checkup from Lauterbach. For just $25, we'll examine that car and give you a detailed report on what has to happen and when. Then you know you're sending your student off to college in a safe car, filled with books, your big box TV, and Cheese Whiz. Call 546-2600 and set a time for Stage 2 service. Available now at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Lauterbach man here. Drive safely now.
Longwood, kiss that baby goodbye. It's gone a mile. Simmons touches them all.
On Friday, August 18th, the Cardinals host the Mets, and that night, 25,000 fans aged 16 and older take home a Cardinals Hall of Fame Car Parade bobblehead thanks to Ford. Fans will be surprised at the gates when they receive one of 2 mystery bobbleheads. Will it be Matt Holliday or will it be Ted Simmons? Which one will you get? Find out August 18th. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
The Cardinals are proud to celebrate our troops and veterans. Military Appreciation Night presented by Bally Sports Midwest is Friday, August 18th when the Cardinals host the Mets. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, fans will receive an exclusive Cardinals cap honoring their favorite branch of the military, Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marines, or Navy. A portion of each ticket purchased will be donated to USO Missouri. For more information, visit cardinals.com/theme.
This is Navy veteran and former Cardinal Mitch Harris. Thank you for being the best fans in baseball.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 5th District ruling that nonviolent drug users have a Second Amendment right. This is a case we've talked about in months past, but a ruling out of the 5th Circuit saying, in short, our history and tradition may support some limits on intoxicated persons' rights to carry a weapon, but it does not justify disarming a sober citizen based exclusively on past drug use. What happened here? What is this case all about? Good morning. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk at 6:12. That's right, bright and early. We do it every morning, 6 to 9, right here. You can follow me anywhere, Bishop on Air on X, formerly known as Twitter, on YouTube, where you can watch the live stream and also see video segments of previous shows. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, where we also live stream. But let's get into this because it's fascinating. We've got so many different cases that people are watching when it comes to laws concerning guns and firearms and how those possibly impact the Second Amendment. So you have, of course, a lot of focus here in Illinois, something we've been looking at practically every day. That's the ban on certain semi-automatic firearms and magazines over certain capacities, with a deadline to register those firearms by January 1st of 2024 or face criminal penalties. So challenges there, we're still waiting. Haven't seen any indication as to when the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals in the federal courts is going to rule on that case that they brought from the Southern District and the Northern District, consolidating several challenges of not just the state's gun and magazine ban, but also local ordinances in Naperville and Cook and Chicago as to banning certain types of weapons. So that case is still pending. We have no indication as to when the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals is actually going to rule on that case. But if you're not familiar with the federal court system, we'll review a bit about the different districts that there are, because what happens in the Seventh Circuit, it only impacts the Seventh Circuit. What happens in the First Circuit only impacts the First Circuit, and so on. But that's the federal court, right? We're still waiting on the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals decision on the challenges against Illinois' gun and magazine ban. It's expected whatever happens there, it's going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. But also on that case, we're still waiting on the Illinois Supreme Court's ruling an opinion on the state-level challenge to Illinois' gun and magazine ban. So that's the latest there. But we've been looking at cases elsewhere throughout the country, not just challenging gun and magazine bans, but other elements. Yesterday, we talked about how the ATF's rule on unfinished frames and receivers being regulated firearms, you had that case go through with an injunction issued, but then the U.S. Supreme Court put a stay on that injunction, meaning that the injunction was essentially reversed while that case continues to play out. And I think it's also important to note here, these are all procedural steps for the issues at hand. For instance, the gun and magazine ban in Illinois, you had a preliminary injunction issued blocking it from taking effect for about 6 days from the Southern District, and that impacted all of Illinois, but the state appealed to the Seventh Circuit, and there was a stay issued reversing that injunction, so the law is back in effect. But that was only a temporary thing, while the merits of the case continued. So even if the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals say they deny a preliminary injunction, it's going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. But the merits of the issue have still yet to be fully litigated. Same thing with the ATF rule. Yet to be fully litigated. Even though the U.S. Supreme Court reversed an injunction blocking the ATF's frame and receiver rule, they still have to deal with the actual merits of the case, which are the arguments saying, the ATF can't do this. They can't just make laws by crafting rules. Same thing goes for Illinois' gun and magazine ban. The preliminary injunction, a stay. What's the appeals court going to do? Whatever the outcome there is, it's likely going to go to the U.S. Supreme Court, but the merits still have to be fully litigated. So just so we understand where we're at in the progress of these cases. Now, this case that we started talking about here out of Louisiana, it's in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And coming back, we'll delve into this case and in particular take a look at all of the different districts that there are across the country. You got the Seventh Circuit, which is Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin. The Fifth Circuit is Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. So we're going to train our focus on the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and the decision they released yesterday, essentially saying that nonviolent drug users do have a Second Amendment right. So we'll get to that coming up next here and read some of the ruling and some of the outcome, the progression of that case, and more. But I'd also like to get your phone calls at 217-629-7970. Again, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here. I'll get that right card up there for those watching online. 217-629-7970. You can sound off live and local. All right, stay tuned. We'll get to that coming up. But right now at 6:17, let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got, after heavy rain throughout the area, flood in some parts of the area. I know people had some of their cars underwater in low-lying areas. We'll see some partly sunny skies today. The high of 83, the low of 64. Friday for Ag Day at the Illinois State Fair, mostly sunny, warming up to a high of 88. And then Saturday, the high of 86 with sunny skies. Sunday, the high of 85, mostly sunny, and next week, mild. We're talking highs in the upper 70s. Monday, Tuesday, and by Wednesday, 82 the high. Right now, 64 degrees, overcast skies, some fog in the area at 618 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions. Get 11% off and elevate the look of your home with Menards. We carry the largest selection of Hunter ceiling fans in many styles and sizes. Ceiling fans are perfect for adding light, comfort, and style to any room while helping you save on energy bills year-round. Get the 44-inch Auberville LED ceiling fan for $89.97 after 11% rebate. Good through August 13th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Your next vacation to Punta Gorda, Fort Myers, Florida is just a quick flight away with nonstop flights from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. Enjoy lounging on the beach, golfing the stunning courses, or catching up with family in the Sunshine State. Find yourself a warm getaway with low fares from Allegiant and your friends at Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, where parking is always free. Book your trip today at Allegiant.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
Your garage. It began with 2 garbage cans and 2 vehicles living together in perfect harmony. Then,
I love the new couch. What are we going to do with the old one?
We'll put it in the garage for now.
as years pass,
we'll put it in the garage for now.
We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now.
It happens. Got junk? Want to get rid of it? Call us.
2 men and a truck now can get rid of all your junk. Residential, commercial, there's no job too big or too small. Get your space back. Search 2 Men and a Truck Springfield today.
If you're even thinking about putting a new mattress on an old box spring, visit Just Beds today. The free box spring event is underway. Get a free box spring with the purchase of any premium Bemco, Arctic Breeze, Max Life, or Chatham & Wells mattress. That even includes any Bemco mattress currently on sale. Free delivery, free setup, free haul away, and a free box spring from the Yon Exterminators on Montvale, Springfield.
Just Beds. Keeping you connected with the latest market updates every weekday afternoon at 4:30 and 6:30. Brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Brain freeze! What is the magic that's in Snowbiz Shave Ice? How in the universe of all things can you take plain ice and transform it into a summer specialty? Where do these Snowbiz flavors come from? How long will your lips and tongue be purple? Snowbiz is ready for another taste bud chilling summer with the biggest Snowbiziest collection of flavors ever seen. And Tuesdays are buy one, get one free. Snowbiz.
Snowbiz.
Laurel, just west of MacArthur.
They may have told you it can't be done. You may think there is no way to do it, but at Rex Battery, changing an iPhone battery is a piece of cake. It's true, many iPhone models have batteries that can be replaced. And if yours is still working fine, except for the battery, don't get rid of it, replace it. We have the tools and the right battery to put extra life in an old iPhone. If your iPhone has a dreaded crack down the screen, we can fix that too. For decades, Rex Battery has been finding the right battery to get the job done. Big, small, and hard to get to. iPhone batteries can be replaced in many of the models so you can have more talk time, more selfie time, and more time to learn that TikTok dance. New batteries and broken screen repair now available at Rex Battery. From the tiniest hearing aids to the biggest farm equipment, nobody knows batteries better than Rex. Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
If you're preparing your kids for school with an old computer, you might get a frantic call in the middle of the night when problems suddenly crop up. At BLH Computers, you can fill the backpack with laptops that carry the exclusive BLH guarantee. BLH Computers has a big supply available with school budget pricing in mind. So send them off to school and quit worrying with laptops, accessories, and upgrades from BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
Barcom Security. You know, we're the Have a Secure Day security systems company, right here out on South Cokie Mill Road. Family owned and managed for nearly 50 years. We are local experts in residential, small business, and commercial security systems. Family owned, family values, treating you just like family. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll actually pick up the phone. You can check us out at barcomsecurity.com, and as always, have a secure day.
If you're a registered nurse, here's a message you've never heard. Springfield Supportive Living has a rare opening for someone like you. Would you like to work with assisted living residents with the support of a company that values their employees? Springfield Supportive Living might be your next step. Their employees are paid and treated fairly. That's why this opening is very rare. If this sounds like you, apply online at springfieldsupportiveliving.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Showing the case, United States of America versus Patrick Darnell Daniels Jr. out of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. Well, the appeals court siding with Mr. Daniels in his challenge of a law that ultimately said, nonviolent drug users don't have Second Amendment rights. Welcome back. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. So let's get into this this filing here. And of course, this is for the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which wraps in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And this case came from Louisiana. So I do want to go through and just read some of this. And this is, of course, before Smith, Higginson, and Willett. The Circuit Judge Jerry Smith is a circuit judge, and they write that, U.S. law bars an individual from possessing a firearm if he is an unlawful, quote-unquote, user of controlled substances. Patrick Daniels is one such, quote-unquote, unlawful user. He admitted to smoking marijuana multiple days per month, but the government presented no evidence that he was intoxicated at the time of his arrest, nor did it identify when he last used marijuana. Still, based on his confession of regular use, a jury convicted Daniels of violating the law. The question is whether Daniels' conviction violates his right to bear arms. The answer depends on whether the law is consistent with the nation's, quote, historical traditions of firearms regulations as found by the U.S. Supreme Court under New York State Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruin. It is a close and deeply challenged question, he says. So the judge goes on saying throughout American history, laws have regulated the combination of guns and intoxicating substances, but at no point in the 18th or 19th century did the government disarm individuals who used drugs or alcohol at one time from possessing guns at another. A few states banned carrying a firearm while actively under the influence, but those statutes did not emerge until well after the Civil War. It goes on to say that the law, the first federal law of its kind, was not enacted until 1968, nearly 2 centuries after the Second Amendment was adopted. In short, our history and tradition may support some limits on an intoxicated person's right to carry a weapon, but it does not justify disarming a sober citizen based exclusively on his past drug use, nor do more generalized traditions of disarming dangerous persons support this restriction on nonviolent drug users. As applied to Daniels, then, U.S. law, it violates the Second Amendment. We reverse the judgment of conviction and render dismissal of the indictment. So that's really the case in a nutshell here. And the judge, again, really giving all the background that's needed to get to this point. He provides that in this 40-page ruling, and talking about at no point that night that he was arrested did the DEA administer a drug test or ask Daniels whether he was under the influence, nor did the officers note or testify that he appeared intoxicated. But after Daniels was Mirandized at that station, he admitted that he had smoked marijuana since high school and was still a regular user. When asked how often he smoked, he confirmed he used marijuana approximately 14 days out of a month. So based on his admissions, Daniels was charged with violating U.S. law, which makes it illegal for any person who's an unlawful user or addicted to any controlled substance to possess any firearm. An unlawful user is someone who uses illegal drugs regularly and in some temporal proximity to the gun possession. So obviously, this is something that only impacts the Fifth Circuit, but we've been watching this case in particular because it does raise the question about this idea of what is a law-abiding citizen? Because Heller and Bruin, those decisions do talk about law-abiding individuals, but what is that definition? Is that include those who may be users of cannabis or may have a proclivity to drinking alcohol in excess? Or is it only those who are, convicted of a violent felony or are adjudicated mentally ill and could be a danger to themselves or others? These are important questions when you really get down to the definitions. So when it comes to this particular law that was at question here in the case out of Louisiana, you have the judge again saying, in short, our history and tradition may support some limits on intoxicated persons' rights to carry, but it does not justify disarming a sober citizen based exclusively on his past drug usage, nor do generalizations and traditions of disarming dangerous persons support this restriction on nonviolent drug users. Now, the defense, the U.S. Department of Justice didn't provide comment when asked about this by some media outlets, but obviously this is an interesting outcome, right? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, morning, Bishop.
Hey.
I wonder. This is going to go back. Did he lie on the federal form to say that, because you have to declare whether or not you use drugs whenever you're trying to get a firearm.
Right. And that's something that, Hunter Biden faced charges on as well. That
was going to be my point.
Yeah.
Is this going to set a precedent for, dropping the charges of Biden, of Hunter? Because, it's nonviolent, and it kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen.
Sure.
If he lied on the form, then that's a felony, and we need to uphold the law. We can't
but
just keep
if lying on that form is only there, if that line on that form is only there because of this U.S. law that the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals essentially struck down, then does it matter about that particular line on that form? It's a question that I don't have an answer to, and I don't think this has yet been fully litigated, as it only impacts the Fifth Circuit and the Department of Justice. They could either just let this lay and it only impacts the Fifth Circuit, or they could take it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court and force the issue across the country.
Does that form also violate your Fifth Amendment rights, self-incrimination?
I think there's an argument there for that.
There's so much to unpack on that. You can't just go down one route.
No, and you're absolutely right. And that's why this is such an interesting case, right? We talked about this several months ago when this case first kind of came to prominence. And it's interesting to see that at least the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, they got a decision out pretty quick on this. So we'll see what happens if the Department of Justice wants to appeal it and go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court with this.
You have a good day.
You too. Appreciate it. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Yeah, I guess I should have started with, hey, Hunter Biden might have an out here. I don't know about those tax charges, though, because that immunity deal didn't quite come together as Hunter Biden wanted it to come together. But what are you going to do? So that's fascinating. But again, we're still waiting on any outcome of the challenge against Illinois' gun and magazine ban, something that we'll definitely be watching closely. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop. Follow me anywhere. All right, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, whatever you got to do. Check it out. Share it. Whatever. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, it is Springfield's Morning News. Email me, bishoponair@gmail.com. And you can also check me out on all the social medias. Just search Bishop on Air. All right. Stay tuned. We got to talk about all of the unemployment debt. And I asked the governor yesterday, Should there be a criminal investigation? So we'll hear what the governor had to say coming up here with Springfield's Morning News. 6:32 now. Let's get a check of headlines.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the Associated Press reports that President Joe Biden has restricted high-tech U.S.-based investments going towards China. The executive order covers advanced computer chips, microelectronics, quantum information technologies, and artificial intelligence. Senior administration officials say that the effort stemmed from national security goals rather than economic interests, and that the categories it covered were intentionally narrow in scope. Today marks the one-year anniversary of President Biden's signing of the PACT Act. The legislation expands disability benefits and health care coverage for veterans, particularly those who were exposed to toxic burn pits while serving overseas after the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's the largest expansion of veterans' benefits in decades and passed with unanimous support from Democrats, while it was opposed by 85% of House Republicans. 18,204 Illinois veterans have made claims under the PACT Act. The Florida Department of Education has distributed recommended reading lists. It says includes, quote, top-of-the-line literary works with world-renowned titles, end quote, like William Shakespeare's plays. However, some school districts are afraid of teaching Shakespeare because of a new state law restricting books with sexual content. Hillsborough County, for instance, has told teachers they could assign excerpts of plays such as Romeo and Juliet, but not the full text. The Washington Post recently studied the cost of recharging electric vehicles as opposed to filling up with gasoline. Their data reveal that it is cheaper to top off an electric vehicle in all 50 states. The report notes that calculating the cost of gasoline versus electricity is complicated because prices vary by charger, and the final tally is affected by road taxes, rebates, and battery efficiency. As a result, there's widespread misconception that in some places electricity is more expensive. Illinois drivers save an average of about $30 per fill-up, placing the state in the top 10 for average savings. More information at WMAY.com. An Illinois Little League team is competing for a spot in the Little League World Series. The Elmhurst youth baseball team will meet a team from Ohio in the finals of the Great Lakes Tournament. The game will be played today in Whitestown, Indiana at 4 o'clock this afternoon and will be televised on ESPN. The winner will advance to the national tournament held in Williamsport, Pennsylvania every year. This year's Little League World Series runs from August 16th through the 27th. The UIS Astronomy Program, Lincoln Memorial Garden, and the Sangamon Astronomical Society will host a special star party to view the annual Perseid meteor shower this Saturday night. The event will feature meteor viewing, tours of the night sky, views through small telescopes, and answering questions. The event is outdoors, so attendees are encouraged to wear bug repellent, dress appropriately for the weather, and bring lawn chairs or blankets to sit on. More information at WMAY.com. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
I'm sleeping so hot.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm on fire. Send help. Finally, can you help?
For the last time, ma'am, turn your thermostat below 90 degrees, stop cuddling up next to this bear, and take the plastic cover off and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
During Verlo's Sleep Cool sale, we're offering discounts on our firm, plush, pillow top, and hybrid V7 through V11 sets. On top of our discounts, we're giving you a free Cool Contact mattress protector, a set of cotton or bamboo sheets, or 2 of our Verlo gel pillows. Pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and save even more. So beat the heat this summer and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
Thanks, Verlo.
Verlo mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren, Boynton, your bank.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Areas of dense fog this morning, so be careful. Then mostly sunny with a high near 83. Low tonight about 65. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high near 88. Scattered showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday sunny with a high near 87. Sunday sunny with a high near 85. And Monday chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
I think what people want from their doctors, as much as anything, is a partner in their care. I'm Dr. Chris McDowell, a physician with SIU Medicine. Our clinical excellence is unmatched in the region. We're home to the latest technology, the best people. But what sets us apart is our commitment to our patients. Being there for them as a partner, a supporter, as an advocate, and even a neighbor. That's what makes SIU Medicine so unique. Learn more at siumed.org.
If you're preparing your kids for school with an old computer, you might get a frantic call in the middle of the night when problems suddenly crop up. At BLH Computers, you can fill the backpack with laptops that carry the exclusive BLH guarantee. BLH Computers has a big supply available with school budget pricing in mind. So send them off to school and quit worrying with laptops, accessories, and upgrades from BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
If you're a registered nurse, here's a message you've never heard. Springfield Supportive Living has a rare opening for someone like you. Would you like to work with assisted living residents with the support of a company that values their employees? Springfield Supportive Living might be your next step. Their employees are paid and treated fairly. That's why this opening is very rare. If this sounds like you, apply online at springfieldsupportiveliving.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Join us and the Illinois Lottery as we help students kick off the new school year. On Thursday, August 24th, adults who drop off a new school supply item will receive a $3 instant ticket from the Illinois Lottery for each item donated, for a maximum of 8 instant tickets while supplies last. Look for the Illinois Lottery Fun Truck at 2760 North Dirksen Parkway in the Walmart parking lot from 4 to 6 p.m. Donated school supplies will benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Illinois. Together, we can help students get off on the right foot this school year. Be smart. Play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. As we continue our road trips this summer, you'll probably want to know where to travel as much as where you may not want to travel. The latest study has revealed the U.S. cities with the worst drivers, using criteria like highest rate of fatal crashes caused by bad driving, drunk driving, and speeding. The city that topped that list? Memphis, Tennessee, with the highest rate of fatal crashes caused by bad driving. Second on the list? Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with the highest rate of fatal crashes caused by drunk driving. Albuquerque, New Mexico, is third on the bad driving list. So where are the cities with the best drivers? Try Green Bay, Wisconsin, Cary, North Carolina, and Oxnard, California. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, designed for curious travelers. Viking offers all-inclusive voyages on all 7 continents, with no children and no casinos on board. Learn more at Viking.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Should there be criminal investigations into how the state handled unemployment during COVID-19? Because we know there was $5.2 billion in overpayments, which includes tens of millions of dollars that went to those who were incarcerated and millions of dollars who went to those who were dead. Altogether, over $5 billion of tax dollars overspent. And it took a long time to get that number here in the state of Illinois. Well, you have individuals who've seen these audits now who want some kind of criminal investigation, including one of those being State Representative Dan Calkins, who not long ago sounded off on this and really was pretty upset with where we're at in this issue of the unemployment fraud that happened. Calkins said that this is a criminal act.
They ought to be sued. They ought to be sued for not performing, honoring their contract. I mean, this is criminal.
And he's talking about the contract that Deloitte got to essentially operate the state's pandemic unemployment assistance program. And that was the program that the federal government implemented for the states to essentially make happen. A lot of blame going around, a lot of finger pointing going around, but regardless, somebody had to hit the button to say approved, approved, approved. Oh, that money went to a prison, approved. Oh, that money went to somebody who's dead, approved. $5 billion just in the state of Illinois. That's not considering the tens of billions and hundreds of billions and other fraud that there was from the COVID-19 pandemic assistance, funded entirely by your tax dollars, that was through PPP loans, unemployment, and a whole host of other things where there was a lot of fraud being reported now. About 17% of total fraud across the country. And you got to think, Illinois getting in entirety, private sector, public sector, $160+ billion during COVID-19. Think about 17% of that. That's a lot of fraud that went out, your tax dollars that went out. So again, State Representative Dan Calkins calling for there to be a criminal investigation and for charges to be leveled against the contractor who was given a no-bid contract. Again, here's State Representative Dan Calkins.
They ought to be sued. They ought to be sued for not performing, honoring their contract. I mean, this is criminal.
We also discussed this a bit further.
I am shocked at the magnitude of the fraud and the overpayments, the total ineptitude of IDES.
So I was able to talk with Governor J.B. Pritzker, or rather I was able to ask him some questions yesterday. And this was one of the questions I had because it's been a while since I've been able to get a question into the governor. He's back down in Springfield with the state fair going on. He's got events all throughout the day today at the state fair, including for County Fair Day today. But he's also going to be cutting the ribbon. But yesterday he was at an unrelated news conference at the mental health facility here in Springfield. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But I asked the governor, hey, some Republicans are saying there should be criminal investigations into the fraud, and in particular, the no-bid contractor, Deloitte, who ultimately had this no-bid contract. And here's what the governor had to say when I asked him whether or not there should be some kind of criminal investigation.
Some Republicans have said that there should be a criminal investigation of the contractor on the unemployment situation. Where do you stand on that, and how are we going to go about holding anybody accountable, either within the administration or with Deloitte, the contractor that got that new big contract?
So let's be clear. In an emergency, you act as quickly as you possibly can to help people that are in need. And that's what happened in March, April, May, June, July. In fact, all the way through about a year and a half until we started to get vaccines into, a majority of people's arms. So the idea that we're now going to go back into the, history books and pretend that there wasn't an emergency and then try to hold people accountable for decisions that had to be made on the fly and thinking about the best interests of the people of Illinois, getting money into their hands when they had lost their jobs, I think would be a travesty. Now, should we all be looking to make sure that we're operating as efficiently as possible? Yes. I want to point out, though, for people who are complaining that about the amount of money that was involved in UI fraud, that across the entire United States, hundreds of billions of dollars was lost. In Illinois, it was $3 billion in the federal program and $2 billion in the regular UI program. Nobody tried to do that, but I want to make clear, I don't know how many of you did, but I received a letter in the mail from Kentucky saying that I had applied for unemployment benefits in the state of Kentucky. Now, nothing was paid out, and of course, I made sure that they knew I was not actually applying. But that's just evidence of how widespread this problem really was. Obviously, the particular PUA program, which is the federal program, where Illinois didn't lose, but the entire federal government and everybody in the United States did lose.
Taxpayers.
Was poorly designed. It was adopted by every state because we were required to do it as they gave it to us. And they wanted the money out the door. I actually don't blame anybody in particular about this, because you remember that we were heading into another depression, not a recession, a depression in this country in those months. And so I think the federal government was doing everything that it could think of under President Trump and the Congress to get the money out the door. And we were obligated by law to get the money out the door. In the UI system, same, we wanted to make sure we were doing everything that we could. People were defrauding the governments all across the United States. We were not any, more hit by fraud than, frankly, anywhere else. In fact, California, just to give you an example, $20 billion of regular UI fraud. We had 2 here. New York, $8 billion. We had 2 here. Even on a population basis, we did better. That doesn't mean we're, we got it right. We didn't, and nobody did.
So the governor not really addressing the question of should there be some criminal liability for the contractor who got a no-bid contract. It was like a $14 million contract. I think that inflated from a $7 million contract, and they still are getting contracted. And it's cost now, according to an Auditor General report, more than $200 million just in that contract. So should there be some kind of criminal liability, and who's been held accountable within the Illinois Department of Employment Security for this? Because somebody had to have hit the button to say approved, approved, approved. So that's the question the governor answered. I asked him yesterday about unemployment fraud and whether there's going to be any actual criminal investigation. I asked the governor another question yesterday about homeless and trespassing. We'll get to that answer next at 6:50 from Culver's West on Wabash.
Work with a team that cares about being the best part of the customer's day. Apply today at Culver's West on Wabash.
Get 11% off and elevate the look of your home with Menards. We carry the largest selection of Hunter ceiling fans in many styles and sizes. Ceiling fans are perfect for adding light, comfort, and style to any room, while helping you save on energy bills year-round. Get the 44-inch Auberville LED ceiling fan for $89.97 after 11% rebate. Good through August 13th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here's what we believe at Rex Battery. You should be able to find the right battery when you need it. Our company started when my dad needed a battery for his car, and he built it himself. Today, more than 50 years later, we are still making sure you can find the right battery you need. And that includes the common batteries people use every day to the hard-to-find batteries used in big farm equipment. While online outlets are struggling with supply chain issues, we have shelves full of batteries. The best part is we're right here in town and ready to help today. Hearing aids, power tools, and the car in your garage. If it takes a battery, you can find the battery at Rex Battery, Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Everyone knows the old saying, nothing lasts forever. Well, whoever said that obviously never bought a timeshare. Not only do your maintenance fees and assessment fees go on forever, they go up forever. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Over 10 years ago, I was a timeshare salesman. But once I saw the dark side of the business, I quit. I started helping folks get out of their timeshares. Since then, we've helped over 30,000 families by getting them out of bad timeshares. If your timeshare agreement goes on forever, If you were told timeshares are a great investment or your maintenance fees will never go up, you have questions, we have the answers. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-798-4545. That's 800-798-4545. 800-798-4545.
When I commit to someone, I want them to commit back to me for, life. That's why I love Verlo mattress. When you buy a Verlo, you get something nobody else offers, a commitment to helping you love your sleep for as long as you own your mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee. Those other places, you get a measly 60, 90, maybe 120 nights. Not even close, guys. Wake up, sleep better. Verlo. Listen, at Verlo Mattress, saving a lot on a comfortable mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee is easy. Why? Well, because we make our mattresses right at the store. Yeah, we cut out the middleman, and voila, you got it. We pass the savings directly on to you every day. So hurry in today to your local Verlo, where there are no middleman markups. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Do your part today and you could save someone's life with Impact Life. And during Impact Life's Good Giving promotion this summer, all donors who register to give blood will be eligible to receive a $25 gift card or continue the giving and donate your gift to support local teachers. Please, give what's in your heart because we are changing the world together. Learn more at bloodcenter.org.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Listen on demand at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
During the council roundup earlier this week, where the Springfield City Council met, they had a lot of conversation about homeless population in Springfield, and you had Alderman Ralph Hanauer talk about the situation that too often they're hearing more and more about, and that's some of the people experiencing homelessness, trespassing. And how do you go about addressing that? Well, here is that back and forth with Alderman Hanauer and Springfield Police Chief Ken Scarlett from Tuesday night's City Council meeting.
And I'm not throwing anything against the police, but it just seems like when we catch homeless people doing illegal things, it's like they get a pass. If they're in a house that they're not supposed to be in, they should be arrested for trespassing, whatever. And I don't know how much, what the rules are, from the police standpoint. I don't, and our police do a great job with the homeless, but sometimes I think if I see them, if they're intoxicated in public or whatever, if I guarantee if one of us was, we'd probably end up downtown.
Need to be.
I can speak on that a little bit.
Yeah.
There are no different rules for homeless compared to anyone else when it comes to criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor, and someone could be arrested, taken to the county. They'll be booked and released within minutes and back out. I mean, there's no magic building where we get to take people to and they get to stay in there. And The Pretrial Fairness Act is forthcoming as well, and that potentially could create some more issues when it comes to some of the stuff in that bill. And I think that, it's important to recognize that, again, law enforcement can go out, can take somebody into custody for trespass, take them to the county jail, they get booked in, they get released on their own recognizance, and then they're back out. And that's a vicious cycle that I think is only going to get worse, to be honest with you.
A vicious cycle that the police chief thinks is only going to get worse. He mentioned the Pretrial Fairness Act. That's no cash bail, and that goes into effect September 18th after the Illinois Supreme Court upheld that law. I asked Governor Pritzker for his reaction.
The Illinois program is going to provide some assistance, but the police chief did talk about the Safety Act and how getting people who are trespassing. He essentially said they'll be booked, go through the jail, but then they'll be back out on the street. Can you address those concerns that local law enforcement have?
About that particular provision, he's wrong. And let's be clear, that was amended in the Safety Act along the way. I'm very hopeful. And of course, we're looking at the court system and the state's attorneys and police, of course, to carry out the actual law, not what's been written about in right-wing press, but the actual law as it's intended to be carried out, which should, by the way, make neighborhoods and communities safer.
From my understanding, if somebody is trespassing, they can be issued a summons, or not a summons, but a ticket first.
They can be arrested, though.
If they don't, and if they leave, then they can be arrested.
Yes.
But then after that, can they just...
But there's no time to wait. There's no distance between you've been asked to leave and the person refusing to leave and them having the, the police officer having the obligation to arrest the person if the person isn't in fact leaving a property.
So again, Governor J.B. Pritzker reacting to the concerns that local law enforcement have of, say, there's somebody experiencing homelessness that's trespassing in an abandoned building and you call the police to have them removed. Well, police go, and with the Safety Act in place, they can issue a citation. And then if that individual doesn't leave, they can then be arrested, but it's a misdemeanor. It's a nonviolent misdemeanor, so they could be back out on the streets to then reoffend somewhere else. There you go. I'm just asking the questions and getting responses from the governor. Whether or not they're fully responsive to the concerns, I'll let you be the judge. It's now 7 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville, Springfield's news and talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. A rising death toll in the deadly wildfires engulfing the island of Maui, Hawaii. Now at least 36 people killed, and that number could go up.
We've got a fairly large burned area that the search and rescue teams still need to explore and see whether there's any survivors in those areas.
Adam Weintraub with Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency tells ABC News nearly 300 buildings have burned. ABC's Gio Benitez in one community that's been wiped out.
You have this major tourist center, the heartbeat of Maui, you would call it, Lahaina town, just gone. Every boat that's in the harbor, that's gone. There's a famous banyan tree that's just beloved by tourists and locals alike. That's gone as well. So this is going to take so much rebuilding. One local who escaped the fire, he told me Maui will never be the same.
Airlines are adding planes to help with evacuations while flights into Maui are canceled. A couple of reports on the U.S. economy come out this morning. The Consumer Price Index with a look at inflation and weekly jobless claims.
Last week's jobless claims report indicates that time may have come. The number of Americans who filed first-time claims rose by 6,000 to 227,000 from the week before, and that trend could continue this week. The overall number, though, is still historically low.
ABC's Daria Albinger. In Ecuador, a presidential candidate assassinated.
As Fernando Villavicencio left a campaign event and entered his car, the shots rang out. The lawmaker was second or third in recent polls with a campaign built on countering corruption. He was long an enemy of a former leftist president seeking a return to the country after fleeing criminal charges. A suspect later died of gunshot wounds after a shootout with authorities. Connor Finnegan, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client?
maybe an outdated news article, or sensitive personal information about your family. Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
All right, coming up this hour, I want to share with you some of the substance of Governor J.B. Pritzker's news conference yesterday morning. He was at what is now formerly known as McFarland Mental Health Center. They changed the name of it yesterday, and I think the story is absolutely fascinating, one that I had no idea about. And it goes to show that even people who've lived here all your life, I've been here for a good 20 plus years. Has it been that long? Gosh, really? That blows me away. Anyways, even those who've been around for a long time, not really knowing the true history of the namesake behind that facility. Well, they changed it yesterday. So we'll hear what the governor had to say. And he also highlights a local community member for the work she did in getting this change. So stay tuned. Fascinating story. Then later on, after 7:30, we'll connect with State Senator Jason Plummer to talk about a variety of things. Obviously, still hot on a lot of people's minds is the law that Governor J.B. Pritzker signed to allow for non-citizens to be police officers. We'll get his take on that and also find out the latest in what's possible with those who bought firearms that were banned during that 6-day window with an injunction on the state's law. So Jason Plummer has that legislation. Is he going to push for that during veto session coming up in October? So stay tuned. We'll get to that as well. It's all here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's now 7:05.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. The Illinois Department of Transportation has announced that repair work on the Illinois 29 bridge over the Sangamon River between Springfield and Rochester will begin Monday, August 14th. One lane of traffic in the southbound lanes will be maintained during the work project. IDOT says that motorists should expect delays and allow extra time for trips through the area. Work is expected to be completed in mid-October. Come to the Lincoln Memorial Garden on Friday morning for a presentation about native prairies and the importance of pollinating insects to our environment. Eleanor Schumacher, Project Wingspan Illinois State Coordinator, will begin her talk at 10:30 a.m. Friday, and the event is open to community members. Lincoln Memorial Garden is located at 2301 Lakeshore Drive in Springfield. More information at WMAY.com. If you've been thinking about financing the purchase of your next dog or cat, you'd better do so before the end of the year. Under a new law which will take effect on January 1st, the use of secured loans and installment contracts for the sale of dogs and cats will be prohibited in Illinois. Residents can still adopt animals that will love them back at a nominal cost by going to the Sangamon County Animal Control Center at 2100 Shale Street. More information at WMAY.com. Today marks the one-year anniversary of President Biden's signing of the PACT Act. The legislation expands disability benefits and health care coverage for veterans, particularly those who were exposed to toxic burn pits while serving overseas after the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's the largest expansion of veterans' benefits in decades and passed with unanimous support from Democrats, while it was opposed by 85% of House Republicans. 18,204 Illinois veterans have made claims under the PACT Act. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News brought to you by Illinois Paving. It's paving season, and Illinois Paving is here to help. Call Cousin Bill today for your free estimate. Visit ilpaving.com.
Brain freeze!
strawberry, banana split, peach cheesecake, Vermont maple. The flavors never stop at Snowbiz. Cherry and grape to jungle juice and cotton candy. You've never had shave ice like this. Snowbiz. Laurel west of MacArthur.
Now playing, the Muni finishes the season with School of Rock. This show follows Dewey Finn, a failed wannabe rock star who decides to earn extra cash by posing as a substitute teacher at a prestigious prep school. There, he turns a class of straight-A pupils into a guitar-shredding, bass-slapping, mind-blowing rock band! But can he get them into Battle of the Bands without their parents and the school's headmistress finding out? Sickage presents School of Rock, now playing through August 12th. Get your tickets at the box office or themuni.org.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Get today's headlines delivered to your inbox every morning. Subscribe now at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Areas of dense fog this morning, so be careful. Then mostly sunny with a high near 83. Low tonight about 65. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high near 88. Scattered showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday, sunny with a high near 87. Sunday, sunny with a high near 85. And Monday, chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Dun, 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 dun. Before Labor Day, come join the 200 Club at the final moving out sale at Green Hyundai on North Dirksen Parkway. The goal is to sell 200 new Hyundais by Labor Day weekend. So join the 200 Club today for your best selection.
Yes, we will be moving to Stanford Avenue soon. So all these new Hyundais must be sold. Help us by joining the 200 Club to sell 200 new Hyundais by Labor Day weekend.
Da 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 da! With interest rates as low as 0% or $399 with approved credit on the number one selling new car in the Springfield market, a new Hyundai from Green Hyundai.
Help Green Hyundai meet its goal of 200 new Hyundais sold by Labor Day weekend. Join the 200 Club now at Green Hyundai, 1200 South Dirksen Parkway.
Da 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 da! And remember, where it's not about cars, it's about people.
Oh, I'm sleeping so hot.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm on fire. Send help. Finally, can you help?
For the last time, ma'am, turn your thermostat below 90 degrees, stop cuddling up next to this bear, and take the plastic cover off and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
During Verlo's Sleep Cool sale, we're offering discounts on our firm, plush, pillow top, and hybrid V7 through V11 sets. On top of our discounts, we're giving you a free cool contact mattress protector, a set of cotton or bamboo sheets, or 2 of our Verlo gel pillows. Pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and save even more. So beat the heat this summer and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
Thanks, Verlo.
Verlo mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI Studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
A local mental health facility has a new name after Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a proclamation yesterday here in Springfield at what is the formerly named McFarland Mental Health Center. And it's really a fascinating story as to why the name has changed. Welcome back to Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. And, listen, mental illness is something that I think every family deals with in some capacity. Loved ones that they have may be struggling with bouts of depression or schizophrenia or a variety of other mental health issues that can really strain relationships and families. And it's so important that families are there and that friends are there for those experiencing mental illness. And having that support structure is so important. And I think that the more we can focus on that, the better we will be in the long run. But obviously, there are a variety of different tools that have been implemented over generations that are really frightening and barbaric. And we've come a long way from, the previous centuries of how we treated those experiencing mental illness. And of course, I think there's a lot to say about the pharmaceutical industry and how they treat mental illness with all of the different drugs that there are and how people are sometimes treated like guinea pigs. There's a lot to say about all of that. There's no question. But when it comes to the facilities we have, of course, we quote, closed the asylums, so to speak, but we still have these mental health centers where people can go and have a live-in residential type of center where they can get the treatments that they need, even if it's just temporary. We also have the long-term care facilities where there's ongoing questions about how people are treated there. I know the Choate Mental Health Facility, the Developmental Disability Center down in Anna, there's a lot of focus on that and how some of the residents there are being treated. But ultimately, we have this facility that was previously to yesterday known as the McFarland Mental Health Center here in Springfield. And Governor J.B. Pritzker held a news conference there with a bunch of advocates and talked about renaming this center. And I wanted to share with you the story behind it because it's really fascinating. So here's the governor during the news conference yesterday laying out the history of a woman who is now the namesake of that center here in Springfield.
163 years ago, Elizabeth Parsons Ware Packard was incarcerated in the Illinois State Asylum by her husband without a formal determination of her mental health or a hearing, as was then permitted under Illinois law. Despite having been unequivocally and demonstrably sane, Elizabeth Packard spent 3 years imprisoned in that asylum, undergoing mistreatment after mistreatment and witnessing others subjected to the same. What false diagnosis was she given after incarceration? Well, her psychiatrist at the asylum said she is, quote, a crazy woman whose influence compared with mine is nothing. Her doctor was none other than Andrew McFarland, this facility's namesake. Before her release, Elizabeth vowed to McFarland that she would campaign for the rights of the mentally ill and would expose the asylum's culture of abuse. McFarland simply scoffed at her. Well, Elizabeth Packard did exactly what she said she would do. In 1867, she successfully advocated for and attained passage of the Bill of Protection of Personal Liberty, guaranteeing a public hearing for any person proposed to be institutionalized for what was then referred to as insanity. It won't surprise you to hear that Andrew McFarland opposed this change, fighting to maintain the status quo which allowed husbands to have their wives committed to an institution with no formal diagnosis. McFarland simultaneously campaigned against independent state inspections of mental health facilities.
So the governor talked about the facility and the need to change the name to the Elizabeth Packard Mental Health Facility from the Andrew McFarland Facility, which didn't know this history at all. But a local advocate did know the history, and she started a petition drive. And we'll hear about that coming up here with Springfield's Morning News. And again, just a fascinating history. And as somebody who has a family member experiencing mental health issues and getting them help that he needs and so on, this is something that's impacting so many other families. And I think it's important we kind of do understand that we haven't always got it right throughout history, and we still probably aren't getting it right to this day. But hearing some of this history, I think is again, informative and important that we delve into a bit. So we'll hear a little bit more of what the governor had to say about the renaming of a local mental health facility coming up here with Springfield's Morning News. All right, let's take a quick break, but let's look at your forecast before we get into it. With a high today of around 83 degrees, partly sunny, the low down to 64. And then by Friday, mostly sunny, the high of 88. Friday night, the low of around 69 with a chance of showers. Saturday, sunny with a high of 86. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 85. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're talking highs in the mid-70s with a chance of showers, but sunny skies by Tuesday. Right now, 69 degrees at 718 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Your garage. It began with 2 garbage cans and 2 vehicles living together in perfect harmony. Then,
I love the new couch. What are we going to do with the old one?
we'll put it in the garage for now. As years pass, we'll put it in the garage for now.
We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now. We'll put it in the garage for now.
It happens. Got junk? Want to get rid of it? Call us.
2 men in a truck now can get rid of all your junk. Residential, commercial, there's no job too big or too small. Get your space back. Search 2 Men in a Truck Springfield today.
The red carpet being rolled out for you at Green Hyundai. What's it all about? Well, it's about the 200 Club. And Mike Quimby standing by to tell you about all the perks that come with it. Mike?
That's right, Greg. Hey, I got the hats and the buttons, and 200 Club is 10 days into August that we want to sell 200 retail new Hyundais by Labor Day weekend. It is a big goal. It means a lot to us. It's our state fair or our Super Bowl. It's a big deal to us. So we're going to do everything that we can to possibly make this. It's not easy. We have to push the trades. We have to get you more for your trade. We have to call the bank and get the interest rate lowered so that we can get you the payment you want. And we will do it, and we can do it. So we are ready for you at Dirksen Parkway. So there's a lot of folks that will be coming in for the fair, and they haven't heard about the number 1 Hyundai dealer in the central United States, right here in little old Springfield, Illinois. Green Hyundai on Dirksen Parkway, low overhead east side in front of JCPenney. So stop by and see us and join the 200 Club. Be a part of history as Green Hyundai opens its doors to you out here, Dirksen Parkway, Springfield.
Mike Quimby, Green Hyundai. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thank you.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-345-2789. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-345-2789. That's 800-345-2789 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-345-2789.
There are 3 words I always hear when someone from our staff is on the phone. We got it. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery, and whenever somebody calls us and asks if we have a certain type of battery, the answer is always, we got it. Even in those very rare instances we don't, we know how to get it. And if we don't know how to get it, we'll build it. That's how committed we are to making sure you have the power you need. From model cars to real cars, from toys to tractors, dog collars to doorbells, riding mowers to remote keys. If it takes a battery, we have it at Rex Battery. Over 75,000 batteries in stock right now. So if you're wondering if we've got a battery, yep, we've got it. They're fresh, fully charged, and ready to go. Keeping Central Illinois fully powered for over 60 years. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Do your part today and you could save someone's life with Impact Life. And during Impact Life's Good Giving promotion this summer, all donors who register to give blood will be eligible to receive a $25 gift card. Or continue the giving and donate your gift to support local teachers. Please, give what's in your heart because we are changing the world together. Learn more at bloodcenter.org.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Hearing some of Governor J.B. Pritzker yesterday at what is now formally known as the McFarland Mental Health Center in Springfield being changed to the Elizabeth Packard Mental Health Center in Springfield. And the governor laid out the history of Elizabeth Packard, who in the 1860s was committed by her husband, despite being sane, and her actual doctor at that time was Andrew McFarland. And he later, throughout his career, history looks back and questions the tactics he used and deployed on treating people who have mental illness. The governor even talking about how in some instances people were treated in ways that would be considered now as waterboarding. But when you look back at the history of how we've treated those experiencing mental health episodes, the ideas of lobotomies, for instance, I mean, how just absolutely barbaric is that? And reminiscent of going back to the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the book and the movie with Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito and a whole host of others. Christopher Lloyd's also in that. It's a great movie. But Nurse Ratched really implemented all kinds of just really wild treatments, electric shock and lobotomies and just a whole host of things. It's problematic. But we've come a long way. I don't think that we've fully addressed all of the harms that are being done, but I think it's still something that we need to keep in our foresight and stay focused on, because I think all of us have loved ones in some capacity or another that have experienced mental illness. But Governor Pritzker, after he laid out the history of Elizabeth Packard being institutionalized for 3 years back in the 1860s, think about that, back in the 1860s, and actually having Andrew McFarland as her doctor, who, again, history looks back not too great on, but regardless, he still was the namesake of the mental health facility here in Springfield for years. But now it's the Elizabeth Packard Mental Health Facility in Springfield. But the governor, he talked about how that came about and the history of Elizabeth Packard. And one local citizen really drove a lot of this with a petition. Here's more of what the governor had to say yesterday.
Therefore, I am proud to announce today that the Andrew McFarland Mental Health Center will hereinafter be renamed the Elizabeth Parsons Ware Packard Mental Health Center. New signage is being installed throughout the facility and around it and in the community, along with an informational plaque that will tell Elizabeth's unique but important, not so unique story. Finally, I'd like to recognize two very special people who helped make today possible. In 2021, author Kate Moore published a nonfiction bestseller that brought broad public recognition to Elizabeth Packard's story, raising awareness of the role that Dr. McFarland played in keeping her confined and maintaining the unjust status quo. Subsequently, Springfield's very own Miranda Bailey Peets went on to gather support for this name change with a petition that brought attention to this miscarriage of justice. Kate couldn't attend today's event, but Miranda is here, and I ask that we give both of them a big round of applause for their civic engagement and unrelenting advocacy.
So it's pretty cool. Miranda was there, was able to chat with her a bit, and just incredible. She started this petition on change.org and was able to actually get this across the finish line with the governor signing a proclamation yesterday. And watching that and hearing the story, it was pretty remarkable. So a lot of you out there may not have known the history of Andrew McFarland and Elizabeth Packard, but now that history is ultimately going to be highlighted every time somebody sees that sign and has a loved one at that facility here in Springfield. So just wanted to share that with you. Really just quite fascinating, no question. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. We do have a phone call coming in. Let's go ahead and grab that. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hi. I had a situation where my grandmother was going to be admitted to McFarland if my dad and aunt didn't stay overnight at the hospital with her. And that was in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah. Regardless of what her mental capacity, was she somebody who suffered from mental illness, or was it just she was in the hospital for something else unrelated?
Well, what happened was my dad was walking home from the barber shop, and a car ran over the road and ran over what would have been my aunt. But he passed away he was 11 when that happened.
Wow.
Sad story.
Yeah, it is a sad story.
And it was just, she got depressed because she lost her child.
Which anybody would, right? There's no question. Appreciate the call. Got to take a break, though. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Coming back, we will talk about the issue of non-citizen police officers. And in particular, we'll have State Senator Jason Plummer join us. Got another call coming in, though. Real quick, good morning. You're on WMAY. Oh, would have been. I thought I punched that through. Nope. My bad. All right. Gosh, we really got to hammer these buttons over here. All right, stay tuned. We'll talk with State Senator Jason Plummer about non-citizen police officers and more. Right now, though, it's 7:31. Let's get a headline check.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the 3 big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story today marks the one-year anniversary of President Biden's signing of the PACT Act. The legislation expands disability benefits and health care coverage for veterans, particularly to toxic burn pits while serving overseas after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. It's the largest expansion of veterans' benefits in decades and passed with unanimous support from Democrats, while it was opposed by 85% of House Republicans. 18,204 Illinois veterans have made claims under the PACT Act. An Illinois Little League team is competing for a spot in the Little League World Series. The Elmhurst youth baseball team will meet a team from Ohio in the finals of the Great Lakes Tournament. The game will be played today in Whitestown, Indiana at 4 o'clock this afternoon and will be televised on ESPN. The winner will advance to the national tournament held in Williamsport, Pennsylvania every year. This year's Little League World Series runs from August 16th through the 27th. The winners of the 2023 Cream of the Crop photo contest have been announced by Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. The contest provides an opportunity for young photographers to share their vision of agriculture in our state. Students who won first, second, or third place in each category will be awarded Bright Start scholarships. Links to the photos can be found at WMAY.com. If you've been thinking about financing the purchase of your next dog or cat, you'd better do so before the end of the year. Under a new law which will take effect on January 1st, the use of secured loans and installment contracts for the sale of dogs and cats will be prohibited in Illinois. Residents can still adopt animals that will love them back at a nominal cost by going to the Sangamon County Animal Control Center at 2100 Shell Street. More information at WMAY.com. A new task force has been created with the goal of making public streets and highways in Illinois safer. The bill signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker last month places officials from state agencies and members of advocacy groups on the panel that will look into speed limit policies and engineering factors to make the roads safer for motor vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians. A report from the task force is due on January 1st, 2025. The Washington Post recently studied the cost of recharging electric vehicles as opposed to filling up with gasoline. Their data revealed that it is cheaper to top off an electric vehicle in all 50 states. The report notes that calculating the cost of gasoline versus electricity is complicated because prices vary by charger, and the final tally is affected by road taxes, rebates, and battery efficiency. As a result, there's widespread misconception that in some places electricity is more expensive. Illinois drivers save an average of about $30 per fill-up, placing the state in the top 10 for average savings. More information at WMAY.com. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to Chicago O'Hare to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport has recently undergone improvements to make your experience flying to and from your hometown even easier. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at AA.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
Here's one thing that psychologists and therapists believe to be a key step to achieving better mental health, and it doesn't cost a thing. Spending time outside. That's right, the natural light, the wind against your skin, the sounds and fragrances of the season all work in concert to help you feel better. Now, you can't treat clinical depression and addiction with just one step. Those are more serious problems, especially with drugs and alcohol. The team of nurses, counselors, physicians, and psychologists at Gateway Foundation understand that. They know what you're going through, and they can show you the way out. Your insurance covers treatment, and the Family Medical Leave protects your job. If your situation appears hopeless, make the confidential call to Gateway at 877-505-HOPE, 877-505-HOPE, and start feeling better today. Gateway Foundation. Addiction medicine, saving lives.
Do you like gadgets? Techie kind of stuff that you can control with your phone, like your home security system, for instance. If you have a security system and you're not able to control everything with your phone, you're really missing out. With the virtual keypad on your phone, you can even watch your cameras and control other systems in your house besides just the security system from anywhere at any time. Curious? Call the Springfield office of Barcom Security or check out barcomsecurity.com and have a secure day.
Everywhere with the WMAY app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Areas of dense fog this morning, so be careful. Then mostly sunny with a high near 83. Low tonight about 65. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high near 88. Scattered showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday sunny with a high near 87. Sunday sunny with a high near 85. And Monday chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Hey, just want to take a minute to tell you about the people over at BLH Computers. August is here. Kids are going back to school very soon, and if you are preparing a kid to go back to the classroom and they have an older laptop, they might be telling you very soon that that thing is about ready to bite the dust. And of course, they're going to be telling you at that last possible moment. Avoid all that hassle. Get them an updated laptop from the fine folks over at BLH Computers. You can load their backpack up with a laptop that comes with that exclusive BLH guarantee that I've been telling you about, which means all repairs are free, no labor charges, and in-stock parts are free for the life of the computer. BLH Computers has a ton of laptops ready to go, budget-friendly, of course, and don't forget to recycle those old machines that you're going to be taking in there. They can take them at BLH Computers as well. Send those kids off to school this month with peace of mind, no worries. Get those updated laptops and all the accessories from BLH Computers. Their locations are in Springfield, in Jacksonville, also in Taylorville. Like and follow them on Facebook. You can learn more online at blhcomputers.com.
Staples presents a lesson in back-to-school savings. Your local Staples now accepts Amazon returns. So when you return your Amazon order at Staples, you receive a coupon for $10 off your next $30 Staples purchase. So you can save even more on top of huge back-to-school deals. Like right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and marble comp books are each just 50 cents. Staples gives you more ways to save even more. 50-cent offers, limit 30.
If you want a bank safe from anywhere, get the app you can use everywhere. Your money's right in your hand. Nobody loves you like Heartland. Get a loan, pay a bill when you're on the go. Deposit that check right from your phone. Download our app and you can. Nobody loves you like Heartland. We're like a bank, but only better, 'cause you'll remember. Bank like you own the place. Heartland Credit Union.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Couple of weeks ago, Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a whole bunch of legislation. I think it was like 140 some odd bills, and tucked in that bill dump was a measure that, it allows non-citizens to apply to become sheriff's deputies, special police officers, and police officers. And there's been some interesting pushback, not just from some of those who oppose it in Illinois, but even across the country with national headlines. And the governor, he says that people got it wrong. It doesn't allow illegal immigrants to become police officers. But the criticism I've heard most about it doesn't talk about illegal immigrants. It merely says that there's concern of non-citizens being able to detain citizens. So somebody who sounded off on this before the measure passed, State Senator Jason Plummer, he joins us right now here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Senator, thanks for taking time with us. This issue, of course, making national headlines. What are you hearing from your constituents on the ground? Good morning.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me. Look, I think regardless of who you are, Republican, Democrat, North, South, this is an issue that I think shocked a lot of Illinoisans, just the fundamental concept, as you pointed out, of non-citizens being handed a badge and a gun and arrest authority over U.S. citizens is is just troubling in a lot of different ways. And frankly, this puts us in a unique situation of being about the only country on earth where we have non-U.S. citizens or non-citizens having those powers over citizens. And obviously, Illinois is a subset of the country as a whole, but this trend hopefully isn't something that expands elsewhere.
You know, we saw in the conversation about this that there was support from the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police for this measure. I think you ultimately had some other police groups go neutral after initially being opposed. Does this allay some of the concerns out there? I mean, if police groups are either neutral or support it, what does that tell you about the legitimacy of this measure?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go talk to the average police department, you go talk to the average law enforcement officer out there, they're completely opposed to this. When this bill was passed, there was a lot of, as is common with our governor, a lot of false statements made as to the breadth of the law and what exactly can happen. And some people said it was just merely symbolic. And I would argue, with all of the problems we're facing in Illinois, why would we waste our time with something that's merely symbolic? And my point is, it's not symbolic. This law absolutely gives a badge and a gun and arrest authority to non-citizens. And that's fundamentally troubling to a lot of Illinoisans. And frankly, even legislators that voted for it in private conversation wish that they could go back a few months and change their vote, because they were misled into voting for this legislation. And it's only going to continue to be a headache for them.
State Senator Jason Plummer with us here with Springfield's Morning News, talking about the measure that allows for non-citizens to become police officers. One question from a YouTube viewer says, are there concerns that there could be like sleeper cartel members who got in through DACA or who may have become, get a work visa of some kind? Is there concern that, that type of thing could possibly play out here in Illinois now with this law on the books?
Well, I don't see why that wouldn't be a concern to people. And I could talk for a little while on that. First and foremost, the governor has made a really offensive analogy to non-citizens becoming police officers to non-citizens serving in the military. As someone who was in the Navy and served with people who were not U.S. citizens, those people served in the military as a pathway to earn their citizenship and hold their citizenship in such high regard. I mean, they wrap themselves in the flag. They're so proud to be U.S. citizens. They're working so hard and putting so much on the line to become U.S. citizens. And then you have someone like Governor Pritzker, who couldn't even fathom the importance of being a U.S. citizen. And to his point about non-citizens serving in the military, you can Google it. We've had issues with organized gangs and organized criminal groups infiltrating the military. The military's had to be very aggressive in watching out for those things to get their hands on tactics, to get their hands on hardware. Why wouldn't they do that in law enforcement? Because there's absolutely a pathway for non-citizens to be police officers in Illinois now, and why cartels or other criminal organizations wouldn't take advantage of that, I don't know why they wouldn't.
Senator, there's always a ton of things going on, even when you guys aren't in session. And of course, you've got the ongoing weight that everybody has when it comes to the gun and magazine ban out of the 7th Circuit Court of Appeal. So I do want to shift gear just a little bit here because you had that measure you filed to look at trying to hold harmless those individuals who took advantage of a preliminary injunction from the Southern District that only lasted 6 days, but they call it Freedom Week, and they went out and purchased firearms. But we heard from state police that, well, those firearms purchased during that 6-day period cannot be registered if the law is ever upheld. I imagine you want to see the law struck down, but what are we going to see happen when it comes to veto session and the measure you provided to hopefully hold those individuals harmless from criminal prosecution?
Well, I do want to see the law struck down, but to that specific legislation, we were able to introduce that late in session, and the goal and the strategy the entire time is to try to get movement on that during veto. We've had some good conversation, but as you know, it's an uphill battle in Springfield. I'm not super concerned about it just yet because the date that is circled on my calendar is January 1st, right? And so it's going to take a lot of arm twisting, a lot of work, and hopefully we can get something done during veto. I will tell you that, private conversations, there's a lot of people that recognize the troubling scenario that the Attorney General and the Governor put people in by being very silent while a lot of confusion spread around the state. The state police, I'm very sympathetic to them because they're just, their legal counsel is the Attorney General. They're acting at the direction of the Attorney General. And I think that any person, Republican, Democrat, that's reasonable on this issue, whether you're, for the Second Amendment, opposed to the Second Amendment, you want more restrictions, you want less restrictions, you have to recognize that setting up law-abiding Illinois citizens to become felons for merely exercising their constitutional right is probably a step that's not something we want to do here in Illinois. So I hope we can move that legislation and veto.
State Senator Jason Plummer with us here with Springfield's Morning News. Another question on firearms. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you saw that, but Governor J.B. Pritzker was taking part in a fireside chat about gun violence prevention. And he was asked what the odds are that his gun and magazine ban and registry will be upheld by the courts. And the governor said the chances aren't zero. It's not 30%. It's a little better than that. But he seemed to indicate that this thing's not going to survive a constitutional challenge in federal court. React to that if you can. Should the state go about in short order passing laws that strip individuals of their rights, as they see it, within a handful of days, and then it takes literally months upon months, if not longer, to get resolution as to whether or not that statute violates their constitutional rights? Should the state be in the business of doing that?
Well, obviously the state should not be in the business of doing that, but that is the biggest business of J.B. Pritzker. I mean, if you look at the litany of bills that he has championed, that he has signed, that have been tossed out by the courts. I mean, if you look at the redistricting map, if you look at the gun case you're talking about, if you look at the most recent ruling on the Pregnancy Center Deceptive Practices Act, that I mean, I don't know if anyone read that federal judge's statements, but I mean, he took the governor and the attorney general to the woodshed, saying that it was painfully and blatantly a violation of the First Amendment. I mean, J.B. Pritzker simply doesn't think the rules apply to him, and they jam. They've gotten a little bit arrogant in their supermajority, and they jam so much stuff through Springfield that is a clear violation of constitutional rights. And then instead of respecting the will of what's supposed to be an independent third branch of government, the judiciary, they try to change the judiciary by redistricting the Supreme Court, by redistricting circuit courts in places like Madison County and Lake County. And then, the topper, which I think is also going to be tossed out, is narrowing where people can even file complaints to Sangamon County and Cook County, which obviously puts real stress and real expense on Illinoisans that merely want to exercise their rights. So this governor is a dangerous governor. This governor doesn't think the rules apply to him, and he has no respect for the Constitution. And it's time that the judiciary starts reining him in.
State Senator Jason Plummer, I think that's all the time we've got. Greatly appreciate you taking it. We're going to see you at the state fair this week, next week. Republican Day is what, on Thursday?
I believe it's Thursday, yep. And I'll definitely be up there Wednesday and likely Thursday. I've got some work stuff going on as well, and got a birthday party coming up for my daughter. So I've got to balance a few things, but we'll definitely be up there, Greg, and look forward to seeing you.
Right on. Happy birthday to your daughter. Greatly appreciate you taking the time this morning, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And now 7:50. Let's take a look at that forecast, where today you've got a high of around 83 degrees, low down to 64, with partly cloudy skies after some sunshine, and then mostly sunny Friday, the high of around 88. For your Saturday, sunny skies, a high of 86. Sunday, sunny with a high of 85. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're talking highs in the mid-70s. It's going to be perfect. Perfect state fair weather. All right, 7:51 now, 69 degrees from Culver's West on Wabash.
Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all shifts and all positions. Apply today in person.
I'm Meredith Foley, pediatrician at SIU Medicine. By my name, it says doctor, but it should also say partner, advocate, neighbor, even friend.
because our patients not only get exceptional medicine, the newest technology, the brightest minds, they also get someone who cares about them, champions their lives and our community. The journey to good health isn't taken alone, so our patients never have to. Learn more at siumed.org.
So, off to school with that young adult of yours. Like most parents, you probably got your kid a nice car. Not a new car, but maybe a Stage 2 car. 4 or 5 years old, no warranty to speak of, and you've got that car packed with an old futon, plastic bins, and ramen noodles. Nice. But don't forget to bring that Stage 2 car here. Hello, Lauterbach man talking to you from high above the 7 bays at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Before you send your student down the road, bring that car in for a Stage 2 checkup from Lauterbach. For just $25, we'll examine that car and give you a detailed report on what has to happen and when. Then you know you're sending your student off to college in a safe car, filled with books, your big box TV, and Cheese Whiz. Call 546-2600 and set a time for Stage 2 service. Available now at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. Lauterbach man here. Drive safely now.
Urban hip-hop and R&B superstars will have the Illinois Lottery Grandstand stage jamming and slamming on the Illinois State Fair's final night, Sunday, August 20th, featuring local legend Nelly. Joined by special guests Ja Rule and Ashanti. This night isn't just a dream, it's gonna be fire. Getting paid up this country grammar. Nelly with Ja Rule and Ashanti. Tickets on sale now 24/7 at Ticketmaster.com, on the Ticketmaster app, or at the Grandstand ticket office during regular business hours. And don't forget to add your pre-show party tickets for only $30. Party before the show and be the first ones into the Grandstand. Nelly, Ashanti, and Ja Rule on the fair's final night. Join us at the 2023 Illinois State Fair, August 10th through the 20th in Springfield.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections. Springfield to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport has recently undergone improvements to make your experience flying to and from your hometown even easier. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at AA.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
Well, we've got a moment for you to sound off on anything we've talked about so far this morning. The phone number 217-629-7970. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com or comment on YouTube Live. We've talked about the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals essentially saying that, nonviolent drug offenders have Second Amendment rights. We also talked about the governor's reaction to those saying that we need to have a criminal investigation for the unemployment fraud. We've discussed the Safety Act and how police can address those experiencing homelessness and trespassing. But let's get to your phone calls. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, I just wanted to follow up after the last interview with Senator Plummer. That guy has come a long way since he ran for lieutenant governor. I hope people are watching him. I think he's going to do a good job for Illinois.
Right on. I appreciate the call. I forgot that he did run for lieutenant governor a while back. Appreciate that. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
The problem I have is with the senators and state reps who, as far as I'm concerned, and also the Chicago Police Department, who gave us really their opinion about citizens, non-citizens becoming police officers, and not fact. When I talk to lawyers in D.C. who deal with this issue, they line up the reasons why it can't happen, but that's just my feeling. We're not paying these guys $80,000 a year for a part-time job to give us their opinion. They need to do a little more digging and research and find out what's constitutionally acceptable. I really don't want their opinion.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times we see this happen where a law is passed and it's implemented rather fast, and then all of a sudden you've got challenges in the courts that take months, if not years. And the harms that are done to people's rights whenever ultimately a law is found to be unconstitutional. Do people get the rights? How can you restore, 3 years worth of somebody's rights being taken away? I appreciate the call. We'll take one more here. You've got a little less than a minute. Good morning.
Good morning. My question is about the firearms ban. And what's going to happen is somebody inherits these firearms or moves into the state with these firearms after that time passes?
It's a great question. I even have questions about auctions, because I subscribe to an auction house that sometimes announces, hey, there's a big firearms auction. One I saw from Illinois, it included AR-15s and a good collection of them and a whole host of other semi-automatic firearms. So, listen, I don't have all the answers, but obviously it's on the books, and we'll just have to delve in and unpack all of those things and see what we can find out. I appreciate the call. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, now 8 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI Studios, take the easy way out. WMAY FM, Taylorville. Springfield's News and Talk is 92.7 WMAY.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Justin Finch. Devastating wildfires on the island of Maui, Hawaii, killing at least 36 people now, and more could be dead.
It is just one way in and out, right? It is one road. And so that made it very difficult to get people out. Right now, this is closed off because they are still doing those search and rescue efforts there in Lahaina town. No doubt about it. That is going to take so much of the day.
ABC's Gio Benitez on the ground for us. Nearly 300 buildings have burned. Airlines adding planes to help with evacuations of residents and tourists while flights into Maui are canceled. School bus confusion in Louisville, Kentucky area schools. The first day of classes yesterday saw school buses running severely late. Classes are canceled till Monday so school officials can sort out the bus routes. President Biden in Provo, Utah today, but ahead of his arrival, the FBI raided a home outside Salt Lake City and shot and killed a man, 75-year-old Craig Robertson, in a confrontation over threats to assassinate Biden.
An official tells ABC News the FBI's investigation into Robertson began back in April. The Secret Service was notified in June, and that Robertson was making plans to take physical action.
ABC's Mola Lenghi. ABC News has obtained a Trump campaign memo that could be used by special counsel Jack Smith.
The memo from a Trump campaign lawyer written a month before January 6th spells out the plan to have Trump electors in key states won by Biden gather to cast ballots for Trump and mail signed certificates to Washington. The author stresses the importance of convincing the public that it was all routine. Prosecutors are said to be seizing on the memo as a key piece of evidence that the former president conspired to defraud the United States.
ABC Stephen Portnoy. This is ABC News.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Well, today, the ribbon's going to be cut on the Illinois State Fair 2023, and it's going to be a pretty busy one, I imagine. A lot of tax dollars going into that. If you get out to the fairgrounds, you're going to notice a lot being done. Paved roads, new roofs. It's something else. But yesterday, you had the butter cow officially unveiled. Well, if you're watching online, streaming live, then we'll show you the butter cow. So stay tuned. It's coming up here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's now 8:04.
News.
Weather.
92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. An Illinois Little League team is competing for a spot in the Little League World Series. The Elmhurst youth baseball team will meet a team from Ohio in the finals of the Great Lakes Tournament. The game will be played today at 4 o'clock this afternoon and will be televised on ESPN. The winner will advance to the national tournament held in Williamsport, Pennsylvania every year. This year's Little League World Series runs from August 16th through the 27th. The Illinois Department of Public Health will provide a variety of health services during the state fair. IDHP will offer free immunizations, physicals, and dental exams for school-age children regardless of their insurance status. Immunizations and physicals will be provided on Friday and Saturday, while free dental examinations will be offered Tuesday and Friday. More information at WMAY.com. Today marks the one-year anniversary of President Biden's signing of the PACT Act. The legislation expands disability benefits and health care coverage for veterans, particularly those who were exposed to toxic burn pits while serving overseas after the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's the largest expansion of veterans' benefits in decades and passed with unanimous support from Democrats, while it was opposed by 85% of House Republicans. 18,204 Illinois veterans have made claims under the PACT Act. The UIS Astronomy Program, Lincoln Memorial Garden, and the Sangamon Astronomical Society will host a special star party to view the annual Perseid meteor shower this Saturday night. The event will feature meteor viewing, tours of the night sky, views through small telescopes, and answering questions. The event is outdoors, so attendees are encouraged to wear bug repellent, dress appropriately for the weather, and bring lawn chairs or blankets to sit on. More information at WMAY.com. Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Here's what's happening right now at Green Certified West.
Not another goat dropping. Hey guys, another goat dropping.
A what?
The goats. They keep dropping the prices on all these quality pre-owned vehicles. I wasn't what I was expecting.
The goats are just doing what they do best, giving the Green Certified West customers their very best deals and amazing customer service.
These prices are too low. They have a business to run. Hey, you, goat, not another dropping on my lot.
Come see the Goat Squad at Green Certified West for your very best deal.
X with a double X battery. Generations of power. Batteries of all shapes and sizes. Excellent service.
called Motobat batteries, and we have them at Rex. Motobats are batteries for motorcycles that are powerful enough to handle all your accessories. As you add new gadgets to your motorcycle, the standard factory battery may not be enough to handle it all. The Motobat battery is designed to send enough juice to the whole motorcycle and keep you moving down the road. At Rex Battery, we have all kinds of batteries for all kinds of vehicles. The Motobat battery has a quad flex terminal design, shortening the path to the battery cable. That means you get quicker power delivery and improved starting ability. If you have a motorcycle, you need Motobat. Rex Battery on Clear Lake, just west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power. If you want to bank safe from anywhere, get the app you can use everywhere. Your money's right in your hand. Nobody loves you like Heartland. Get a loan, pay a bill when you're on the go. Deposit that check right from your phone. Download our app and you can. Nobody loves you like Heartland. We're like a bank, but only better, 'cause you're a member. Bank like you own the place. Heartland Credit Union.
Listen at home with your Amazon smart speaker. Alexa, play WMAY. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Areas of dense fog this morning, so be careful. Then mostly sunny with a high near 83. Low tonight about 65. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high near 88. Scattered showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday, sunny with a high near 87. Sunday, sunny with a high near 85. And Monday, chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
Summer's heating things up, outside and on the grill. Whether you're smoking a brisket or grilling up veggies, Kingsford Original Charcoal delivers the consistent performance and smoky wood-fired flavor barbecuers crave. Kingsford Original lights faster and has a long burn time, giving you the ultimate grilling experience. So grab a bag of Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford.com. Kingsford Original Charcoal lights faster and delivers consistent performance compared to nationally available charcoal in the USA.
When I commit to someone, I want them to commit back to me for, life. That's why I love Verlo mattress. When you buy a Verlo, you get something nobody else offers, a commitment to helping you love your sleep for as long as you own your mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee. Those other places, you get a measly 60, 90, maybe 120 nights. Not even close, guys. Wake up, sleep better. Verlo. Listen, at Verlo Mattress, saving a lot on a comfortable mattress with a lifetime comfort guarantee is easy. Why? Well, because we make our mattresses right at the store. Yeah, we cut out the middleman, and voila, you got it. We pass the savings directly onto you every day. So hurry in today to your local Verlo, where there are no middleman markups. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood. Do your part today and you could save someone's life with Impact Life. And during Impact Life's Good Giving promotion this summer, all donors who register to give blood will be eligible to receive a $25 gift card. Or continue the giving and donate your gift to support local teachers. Please, give what's in your heart because we are changing the world together. Learn more at bloodcenter.org.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
The butter cow has officially been unveiled. You want to see it? Well, there are cameras, so obviously we're going to be able to see it. But you'll be able to go to the Illinois State Fair starting today and head over to the dairy building, and you can see that for yourself. The ribbon set to be cut this morning at 10 o'clock outside the main gate. In that annual tradition, it is the 2023 Illinois State Fair. And obviously a lot of buzz all around town. Don't forget about traffic. They switch up traffic around the fairgrounds. They're off of Sangamon Avenue, and the roads that wrap around the fairgrounds is going to be one way. So just be mindful of that if you're in the area. But of course, the 11-day expo kicks off today, and tons of live music. I've got the wife and some of her friends are going to go see Alanis Morissette Sunday. We got tickets to see Chevelle next Friday, and that's just a few of the big-named acts that are going to be performing at the grandstand. But it's not just music. The big highlight is agriculture. And, of course, you got Ag Day that's been moved up in the schedule. It's not going to be the last Friday of the fair. It's now going to be tomorrow, the first Friday of the fair, so that kids that might be going to school very soon, starting back up the school year, they won't be forced to miss school. Instead, they can come and check out all of their peers' agricultural exhibits and show off their agricultural prowess. So some big things happening at the state fairgrounds here in Springfield, and a lot of activities going to be happening all over the place. Governor J.B. Pritzker and the state's ag director, Jerry Costello, they unveiled the butter cow yesterday. If you get a chance, you'll be able to stop by and see it in person, but if you're watching online, you'll be able to watch it here. And here's what the governor had to say about the butter cow.
What brings us together today, of course, is our 102nd unveiling of the butter cow, certainly the crown jewel of our Illinois State Fair, and artfully crafted by Sarah Pratt, who's been doing this now for 7 years, running the 102nd butter cow, gives us a glimpse into the life of our Illinois dairy farmer, Laura Lee Schultz. And you've heard that her daughter is also depicted where? Just over there. So don't forget to go check out her daughter. It's pretty exciting to have your young one involved as well. Of course, Laura Lee is representing her dairy farm. That's Miller Moore Dairy in Orangeville, Illinois. She harvests milk from one of her cows in the depiction that you're going to see when we unveil it. Laura Lee, like many Illinoisans, is a legacy farmer taking over for her grandfather, you heard. And once again, Sarah could not have done a better job with this scene and bringing this scene to life. Illinois has long stood as a beacon of progress, of innovation, and of opportunity, with agriculture as the backbone of all of our achievements here. And it will continue to propel us forward for generations to come. So with that, I can't wait to unveil.
And they prepare to pull the curtain back. Yesterday, the rain was coming down heavy, so caused a bit of condensation on the window there. But you can see it. Gotta adjust the aperture on the camera. There you go. All right. Get some close-up B-roll. What does it look like? You've got, a cow made of butter, a human made of butter, getting ready to put the milking machine on the cow's udders, and it's on a spinning display. So you can, sit there for a good 10 minutes and have an entire 360-degree view. Then there's a separate display of a calf with a small child kissing the calf's nose, all made of butter. What did he say? 800 pounds of butter or something? Pretty neat, I guess. Listen, I love the state fair. All right, Megan and I, we make a tradition every year to get to the state fair at least once, if not twice. I'm out there a lot covering news events like Ag Day, and you got Governor's Day, Wednesday of next week. Republican Day is Thursday of next week. So I'm going to be out there quite a bit. But Megan and I, we go and we do a tour of some of the food, and we check out, the Sky Glide. That's one of our traditions. Really enjoy it. But I'll be honest with you. The butter cow, just doesn't really do it for me. I don't know. Am I jaded? Am I buttered? I love butter. I love cooking with butter. You cook anything with butter and it makes it better. But The butter cow. I mean, the artist, fantastic job. I mean, it looks great. But it's a cow made of butter. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Morning, Greg. Hey, I don't know if you read the comments or anything like that of the pictures like that were taken on Facebook, but they were pointing out that third cow in the blue shirt. Whenever the picture was, I mean, it was hilarious to be honest with you.
Jeez. Oh, 217-629-7970. That's the phone number. You guys crack me up sometimes. Live phone calls. That's what it's all about. But yeah, you gonna check out the butter cow? Are you guys gonna come down from Chicago and check out the butter cow? The governor was asked about people coming to Chicago and are coming to Springfield from elsewhere throughout the state, including Chicago, and why people from Chicago in that area should come to Springfield for the Illinois State Fair. We'll hear from the governor responding to that question, but let's get your phone calls at 217-629-7970. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm with that guy. I thought it was a butter cow, not a butter hog.
Well, it looks like a cow. It's got udders like a cow, but all right. It's open mic hour here on WMAY. Feel free to call in with your most ridiculous, bombastic jokes. 217-629-7970. So, Governor, why should people come down to Springfield for the Illinois State Fair? Here's what he had to say.
This is, first of all, it's the most fun that you'll have all summer coming to the Illinois State Fair. I have to make sure, and I tell that to everybody that I see all over the state, people that have never been to the fair. There are certainly a number of people in Chicago who haven't come to the fair before. I've encouraged everybody to drive here because it's time for them to drive. And to take advantage of not just the amazing new and upgraded fairgrounds, but also the great acts that we've attracted. That's been one of the big upgrades at the fair too, is just, we've seen some really great music, and I think that's, a great thing for all of the families.
So the governor's saying, hey, it's time to drive. Come down to Springfield. Now, there's going to be a lot of activity, of course. It's focused on agriculture. You've got shows like the Governor's Sale of Champions, where they'll sell a steer, and likely the governor's the one who gives the highest bid. You've got Youth 4-H, Future Farmers of America, Conservation World. If you're not familiar with Conservation World on the fairgrounds, that's a gem. It's a little bit off the beaten path. It's right there attached to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources building, but that's a great area. It's got wonderfully paved paths and a rolling type of hill area. You got a fishing pond. You've got where you can take out some canoes. You've got natural resource officials there with all kinds of displays about the types of fish there, like live fish in tanks. They're going to have demonstrations of people throwing chainsaws around and stuff. That's just in Conservation World. But then you walk around the fairgrounds, you got the rides, you got the food, you've got the live music. There's going to be free live music on some of the stages, and then you've got the grandstand. Not to mention the horse racing. It's going to be happening there at the fairgrounds as well. The harness racing. So you can actually go and gamble. You can go and bet some money. So yeah, be sure to get out to the state fair and honor the state's largest industry, and that is agriculture. So make it happen. The 2023 Illinois State Fair ribbon's going to be cut in about an hour and 40 minutes. And so the governor will be there and a bunch of other officials, and they'll cut that ribbon and officially open the state fair. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. I'm Greg Bishop. Follow me anywhere. Just search Bishop on air, and we can connect that way. All right, stay tuned. Coming back, got some headlines to tackle. The FBI killed a man who allegedly threatened President Joe Biden. And a Republican candidate has a pretty spicy tweet that we'll touch on. Plus, we got a business spotlight later on this hour as well. And we have to get into the crime of the week. So it's all on the way here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's 8:21 from Culver's west on Wabash.
Deliver smiles, butter burgers, fresh custard, and great service. Culver's West on Wabash is hiring for all positions.
At Midwest Garage Door Company, we offer products that are designed for how you live and work. Looking for residential, commercial, or agricultural doors? Midwest Garage Door has you covered. We offer a wide array of garage doors and LiftMaster openers with professional installation from our trained technicians. LiftMaster openers are available with top-of-the-line accessories like built-in Wi-Fi, allowing you to open and close your door from your smartphone or computer wherever you are. Visit MidwestGarageDoor.com to learn more.
Shop the largest selection of Amish and American-made furniture all in one location at Hendricks Home Furnishings. From living room upholstery and accent tables to bedroom, dining room, and home office furniture. Select your sizes, wood finishes, colors, leathers, and fabrics of your choice. At Hendricks, the options are endless for style and comfort that will last a lifetime. Come shop Amish and American-made furniture on sale now. Hendricks Home Furnishings in Verdon and online at hendricks.tv, where you can always talk to the owners.
This could be the start of a break-in.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Or the end of one. Introducing 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from Simply Safe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
If you're preparing your kids for school with an old computer, you might get a frantic call in the middle of the night when problems suddenly crop up. At BLH Computers, you can fill the backpack with laptops that carry the exclusive BLH guarantee. BLH Computers has a big supply available with school budget pricing in mind. So send them off to school and quit worrying with laptops, accessories, and upgrades from BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
Barcom Security. You know, we're the Have a Secure Day security systems company, right here out on South Cokie Mill Road. Family owned and managed for nearly 50 years. We are local experts in residential, small business, and commercial security systems. Family owned, family values, treating you just like family. Call us anytime, day or night, and we'll actually pick up the phone. You can check us out at barcomsecurity.com, and as always, have a secure day.
If you're a registered nurse, here's a message you've never heard. Springfield Supportive Living has a rare opening for someone like you. Would you like to work with assisted living residents with the support of a company that values their employees? Springfield Supportive Living might be your next step. Their employees are paid and treated fairly. That's why this opening is very rare. If this sounds like you, apply online at springfieldsupportiveliving.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Join us and the Illinois Lottery as we help students kick off the new school year. On Thursday, August 24th, adults who drop off a new school supply item will receive a $3 instant ticket from the Illinois Lottery for each item donated, for a maximum of 8 instant tickets while supplies last. Look for the Illinois Lottery Fun Truck at 2760 North Dirksen Parkway in the Walmart parking lot from 4 to 6 p.m. Donated school supplies will benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Illinois. Together, we can help students get off on the right foot this school year. Be smart. Play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 92.7 WMAY.
Couple of national stories I want to touch on here. One dealing with the Republican field for who should get the nomination to be president of the United States. But before we touch on that, here's a headline. FBI kills Utah man suspected of threatening President Joe Biden. A lot of social media buzz on this. And the Associated Press reporting an armed Utah man accused of making violent threats against President Joe Biden was shot and killed by FBI agents hours before the president landed in the state for a visit Wednesday. Special agents were trying to serve a warrant on the home of Craig Robertson in Provo, south of Salt Lake City, when the shooting happened at about 6:15 in the morning. The FBI said in a statement. Robertson was armed at the time of the shooting, according to 2 law enforcement sources who spoke to the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity to discuss details. So what happened here? Apparently, the suspect here, who was shot and killed by police, referred to himself as a MAGA Trumper, referenced to former President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again, and also posted threats against top law enforcement officials overseeing court cases against Trump. So I think there's going to be a lot more about this story as there was questions of posts he made. Robertson's post indicated, allegedly, he appeared to own a long-range sniper rifle and numerous other weapons, as well as camouflage gear known as a ghillie suit. Investigators said in court records, Robertson was charged under Seal Tuesday with 3 felony counts, including making threats against the president and against FBI agents investigating him. Again, we'll probably hear a lot more about that story in the hours ahead while the sun continues to come up on that. But something else I wanted to touch on here, rather fascinating. Of course, you got a crowded field of Republican contenders to be the next Republican nominee for President of the United States to go up against what's expected to be Joe Biden in the 2024 election. So Donald Trump, of course, has the whole host of criminal issues he's facing, allegations, and could possibly see even more come out of Georgia. But you've got also Ron DeSantis, who was thought to be the second up, and he's just kind of floundering right now. Doesn't seem to be getting anywhere near where Trump's numbers are in the field. But then you have others like Mike Pence, who, did you guys see this video that he did? It's him talking about energy prices, and he's at a gas pump, and he takes the hose off of the pump and puts it into his truck, and he's talking about gas and the price of energy and how he'd make energy independence for the United States, but he doesn't really fill his truck up with gas. It's bizarre. But Mike Pence also took Vivek Ramaswamy, another Republican, looking to run for the White House and get the Republican nomination. And here's what Mike Pence apparently said recently. A reporter, Libby Cathy, says Mike Pence swipes at Vivek Ramaswamy in an interview with Union Leader after Ramaswamy said he doesn't believe the findings of the 9/11 Commission. He said, quote, "I understand he was probably in grade school on 9/11, and I was at the Capitol on Capitol Hill," Pence said. Well, Vivek Ramaswamy responding. He's a millennial. I think, he's like 38 or something like that. But he's a self-made, I think he's a billionaire, self-made wealth, an entrepreneur, family of those who migrated to the United States. Vivek Ramaswamy, I'll just read to you what he had to say on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. He said, Mike Pence says today he was, quote, deeply offended that I don't trust trust that the government told us the full truth in the 9/11 Commission report? Well, I find it offensive that our government repeatedly lies to us. Here's the truth. The FBI quietly declassified documents in 2021 that definitively reveal the government lied to the public about basic facts of Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11 until documents were declassified and they changed their story 20 years later. Omar al-Buami, a 42-year-old graduate student, welcomed, housed, set up bank accounts, and gave rent money to the first two Qaeda hijackers after they landed in Los Angeles in January 2000. Al-Baimi claimed to have met the two terrorists entirely by chance. The 9/11 Commission report verified that Baimi's altruism was in the name of hospitality, as he claimed. The FBI, 20 years later, changed its story. In documents declassified last year, Ramaswamy says on Twitter, the Bureau affirmed that Baimi was in fact an agent of the Saudi intelligence service who worked with Saudi religious officials and reported to the kingdom's powerful ambassador in Washington. U.S. government officials continue to lie about other matters of public importance. The origin of COVID-19, knowledge about unidentified aerial phenomenon, Hunter Biden's laptop, how our money's actually being spent in Ukraine, the Nashville trans shooter manifesto, with a complicit media that just accepts the prevailing narrative without question. This fuels rampant public distrust, Ramaswamy says. There's no credible evidence that 9/11 was a, quote, inside job, but ironically, when the government systemically lies about Saudi involvement and the media runs interference, that lends plausibility to an otherwise unlikely claim. There's no such thing as a noble lie. With all due respect to the former VP, the reason the people don't trust the government is because the government doesn't trust the people. So fascinating tweet there from Vivek Ramaswamy. And he's, somebody to watch, I think. I don't know if he's going to get the nomination, but he's definitely making some waves, being very crisp as to how he interacts with media, very crisp as to how he addresses certain issues. And I think that right there just indicates his soon-to-be growing popularity. All right. Stay tuned. We got tons more to get to, including Crime Stoppers with the Crime of the Week. And we've got a business in the 217 with a business spotlight. So stay tuned. It's all coming up here on WMAY. All right. Now 8:34 from Culver's West on Wabash.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story, the Associated Press reports that President Joe Biden has restricted high-tech U.S.-based investments going towards China. The executive order covers advanced computer chips, microelectronics, quantum information technologies, and artificial intelligence. Senior administration officials say that the effort stemmed from national security goals rather than economic interests, and that the categories it covered were intentionally narrow in scope. Today marks the one-year anniversary of President Biden's signing of the PACT Act. The legislation expands disability benefits and health care coverage for veterans, particularly those who were exposed to toxic burn pits while serving overseas after the September 11th terrorist attacks. It's the largest expansion of veterans' benefits in decades and passed with unanimous support from Democrats, while it was opposed by 85% of House Republicans. 18,204 Illinois veterans have made claims under the PACT Act. The Florida Department of Education has distributed recommended reading lists. It says includes, quote, top-of-the-line literary works with world-renowned titles, end quote, like William Shakespeare's plays. However, some school districts are afraid of teaching Shakespeare because of a new state law restricting books with sexual content. Hillsborough County, for instance, has told teachers they could assign excerpts of plays such as Romeo and Juliet, but not the full text. The Washington Post recently studied the cost of recharging electric vehicles as opposed to filling up with gasoline. Their data revealed that it is cheaper to top off an electric vehicle in all 50 states. The report notes that calculating the cost of gasoline versus electricity is complicated because prices vary by charger, and the final tally is affected by road taxes, rebates, and battery efficiency. As a result, there's widespread misconception that in some places electricity is more expensive. Illinois drivers save an average of about $30 per fill-up, placing the state in the top 10 for average savings. More information at WMAY.com. An Illinois Little League team is competing for a spot in the Little League World Series. The Elmhurst youth baseball team will meet a team from Ohio in the finals of the Great Lakes Tournament. The game will be played today in Whitestown, Indiana at 4 o'clock this afternoon and will be televised on ESPN. The winner will advance to the national tournament held in Williamsport, Pennsylvania every year. This year's Little League World Series runs from August 16th through the 27th. The UIS Astronomy Program, Lincoln Memorial Garden, and the Sangamon Astronomical Society will host a special star party to view the annual Perseid meteor shower this Saturday night. The event will feature meteor viewing, tours of the night sky, views through small telescopes, and answering questions. The event is outdoors, so attendees are encouraged to wear bug repellent, dress appropriately for the weather, and bring lawn chairs or blankets to sit on. More information at WMAY.com. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
News sponsored by Just Beds. A great night's sleep starts with a visit to the yawn exterminators at Just Beds. Online at justbedsinc.com.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password.
For you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Designed for curious travelers. Viking offers all-inclusive voyages on all 7 continents, with no children and no casinos on board. Learn more at Viking.com.
Summer's heating things up, outside and on the grill. Whether you're smoking a brisket or grilling up veggies, Kingsford Original Charcoal delivers the consistent performance and smoky wood-fired flavor barbecuers crave. Kingsford Original lights faster and has a long burn time, giving you the ultimate grilling experience. So grab a bag of Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford.com. Kingsford Original Charcoal lights faster and delivers consistent performance compared to nationally available charcoal in the USA.
Your next vacation to Punta Gorda, Fort Myers, Florida is just a quick flight away with nonstop flights from Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. Enjoy lounging on the beach, golfing the stunning courses, or catching up with family in the Sunshine State. Find yourself a warm getaway with low fares from Allegiant and your friends at Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, where parking is always free. Book your trip today at Allegiant.com. Fly local, fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out. To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Everywhere you are with TuneIn Radio, the WMAY app, or at WMAY.com. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Areas of dense fog this morning, so be careful. Then mostly sunny with a high near 83. Low tonight about 65. Tomorrow mostly sunny with a high near 88. Scattered showers overnight with a low around 68. Saturday, sunny with a high near 87. Sunday, sunny with a high near 85. And Monday, chance of morning showers with a high near 77 degrees. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lotterback Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
Guess who's in charge of arranging the corporate event this year? Now, where to start?
Conn's Catering and Events has you covered. A quick call or visit with the experts at Conn's will save you time while making you look like an excellent planner.
Well, this event is a real monster. We'll need a bunch of options.
Like a customizable menu tailored to your specific needs and preferences?
That would be one easy solution.
From full-service events like the one you're planning to drop-off catering like a quick meal to feed the office, Conn's will have people complimenting you on the excellent choices.
Sounds like this is going to be a permanent addition to my job description.
Because you're not settling for anything less than extraordinary. Give Conn's a call. They'll help you turn the event into a complete success as you make that lasting impression on your clients, employees, and guests.
Call Angie at 217-523-4466 or visit Cons at conshg.com to set up your corporate dining experience today.
Here at Warren Boynton State Bank, we're proud to be a true community bank since 1877. We remind you that the goal of a community bank is to work together with our customers and communities to help move them forward in positive ways. When we accept your deposits, we invest that money right back into this area, into homes, farms, and small businesses. One of our primary goals is to help this community in any way we can. And because we've invested in you, our friends and neighbors, our bank is safe and sound and in business to stay. We're sincere in our care and concern for this community. Our employers, directors, and managers are people you know, people who are dedicated to making this a better place to live. Discover what a true community bank is at Warren Boynton State Bank, 3030 Spring Mill Drive in Springfield. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Remember the days when the shrill tone of a fax machine was the mark of a really important business being conducted? Invented way back in the 1840s, the fax machine became an indispensable tool by the late 20th century, allowing documents to be transmitted over phone lines in seconds. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by NetSuite. Own a business? Upgrade today and get no payments or interest for 6 months at netsuite.com/Kim. Most of us have already ditched those ear-piercing fax tones for email or DocuSign, but there's still times when you need to fax something. Don't have a machine? Not a problem. Just sign up with an email-to-fax service like eFax or HelloFax. Pop in your email address, compose an email, and address that to the recipient's fax number, followed by the fax number's domain. Attach the document that you'd like to fax, write a cover letter, and hit send. Boom. That's it. That's a fax well sent. Join over 500,000 folks who get daily text smarts with my free newsletters. You're going to love them. Sign up at getkim.com. If you're a business owner looking to cut costs this year, stop paying for multiple systems that don't give you the information you need when you need it. Right now, my sponsor, NetSuite by Oracle, has an unprecedented offer on the world's #1 cloud ERP. Sign up today and get no payments and no interest for 6 months on a full implementation of NetSuite. You can stop letting QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down. With NetSuite, you can manage and automate all of your business processes in one place. Identify rising costs and easily see where to save money. 93% of customers improve their visibility and control when they upgraded. So join them. If you've been sizing NetSuite up to make the switch, then you know this deal is unprecedented. No interest, no payments. Take advantage of the special financing offer right now at netsuite.com/Kim. netsuite.com/Kim to get the visibility and control you need to weather any storm at netsuite.com/Kim.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop, broadcasting from the Fly SPI studios. Take the easy way out. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
All right, let's take this time now to connect with Crime Stoppers Coordinator Officer Drew Zabados to get the latest on what's going on with crime and how you can provide anonymous tips and get a cash payout. Officer, thanks for taking time as you do each and every week. Let's get to it. What's the crime of the week this week? Good morning.
Yeah, morning, Greg. Thank you for having me. On August 5th, around 8 a.m., I got video of a suspect. He appeared to be a male. This occurred at 1140 West Reynolds, which is a business called Tossed and Found. The subject, he jumped the fence. There was a white van that had a white trailer connected to it. This suspect got into that vehicle and proceeded to drive through the fence. He caused $4,000 in damage, and the van also contained $1,500 worth of Xerox printers. I do have a couple photos of him on our website. That's going to be cashfortips.us. If you have any information about this crime, can identify the suspect, or saw anything, give us a call on our anonymous tip line. That's 217-788-8427. You can submit a tip on our website or use the P3 app. And as always, we do pay up to $2,500 for any information that leads to an arrest.
Officer Zabados, we talk a lot about the crimes, but let's talk a little bit about the importance of anonymity in all of this. A lot of times, I imagine detectives go out to the scene of a crime. If there's witnesses, nobody really wants to talk. But talk about how they can remain anonymous through Crime Stoppers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Anonymity is, a big thing, and people, don't sometimes don't come forward for whatever reason, but Crime Stoppers helps with that. So when you reach out to us, whether it's through the website, which scrubs your IP address, or by phone, I don't have caller ID, you get assigned a tip number, and that becomes your new identity. And then you have to reach back out to us because we obviously have no way of contacting you if we don't know who you are. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you verify that it's you by giving the tip number that you were originally provided. And then we give a location and a time and a date to meet you here in Springfield. It will be one of our board members. It will never be a member of law enforcement. The only thing we'll ask is a description of yourself and a clothing description of what you will have on. A board member will meet you if you can provide a tip number. Again, not your name, but your tip number. You will be handed the reward, and you'll both go your separate ways. Anonymity is what keeps our program going, and it's something that I can promise anybody that tries to contact us.
So again, give us the crime of the week, and you can find it on the website, but also on the Facebook page, Crime Stoppers, and the Springfield Police Department having that information. Give us the details again.
Yeah, so had a suspect who appeared to be a male. He jumped the fence of the business at 1140 West Reynolds, which is tossed and found. Got into a van that had a trailer connected to it. The van had $15 worth of Xerox printers in it. That suspect got in the van, drove straight through the fence, caused $4,000 in damage, and fled the area. I got pictures of him up on our website, cashyourtips.us, and if you can identify this suspect, please give us a call, 217-788-8427. You can use our website, cashyourtips.us, or the P3 app.
So make it happen. Officer Drew Zabados, thank you so much for taking time with us today. Be safe, and we'll talk again next week, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Greg.
It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Hey, stay tuned. We got a business spotlight with Synergy Home Care. That's next here with WMAY to wrap things up. All right, so stay tuned. Let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, though. Today, the high of around 83. Partly sunny skies after some clouds, and then the low down to 64 with partly cloudy skies tonight. Friday, mostly sunny, the high of 88. Saturday, sunny with a high of 86. Sunday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, the high of 85. Monday, the high of 77. That's right, the high of only 77 Monday. Tuesday, the high of 76. Sunny skies. Then by Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 82 with sunshine. I tell you what, if it is going to be high 70s, low 80s for the Illinois State Fair with sunshine, we're in business. All right, 8:49 now from Culver's West on Wabash.
Work with a team that cares about being the best part of the customer's day. Apply today at Culver's West on Wabash.
It is a big fly! A slammer for Brandon Donovan!
The Cardinals host the Mets the weekend of August 18th, 19th, and 20th, and there are great promotions all weekend long. On Saturday, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will add a Cardinals cap to their collection thanks to Busey Bank. This navy and red cap features the bird on the bat logo and is worn by the team on Sunday games. Great seats remain. Secure your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Brendan Donovan. Summer in St. Louis means baseball.
Freeze hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
And we will see you on Sunday, August 20th, when the Cardinals take on the New York Mets. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home a canvas print courtesy of Edward Jones that commemorates this legendary moment in Game 6 of the 2011 World Series. Artwork for this canvas print is commissioned by St. Louis artist Cole Meyer. For tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
You love sharing time with your kids, but sometimes sharing space is a different story. When it's time for a larger home, Heartland Bank will work with you to find the right size loan. What would you do with the extra breathing room? When you're ready to make a move, Heartland Bank is here to help. Apply for a loan online or contact one of our mortgage bankers to get started.
Heartland Bank is an equal housing lender.
If you're a registered nurse, here's a message you've never heard. Springfield Supportive Living has a rare opening for someone like you. Would you like to work with assisted living residents with the support of a company that values their employees? Springfield Supportive Living might be your next step. Their employees are paid and treated fairly. That's why this opening is very rare. If this sounds like you, apply online at springfieldsupportiveliving.com.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Oh, I'm sleeping so hot.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm on fire. Send help. Finally, can you help?
For the last time, ma'am, turn your thermostat below 90 degrees, stop cuddling up next to this bear,
hey,
and take the plastic cover off and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
During Verlo's Sleep Cool sale, we're offering discounts on our firm, plush, pillow top, and hybrid V7 through V11 sets. On top of our discounts, we're giving you a free cool contact mattress protector, a set of cotton or bamboo sheets, or 2 of our Verlo gel pillows. Pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and save even more. So beat the heat this summer and get yourself a Verlo mattress.
Ah, thanks, Verlo.
Verlo mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Summer's heating things up, outside and on the grill. Whether you're smoking a brisket or grilling up veggies, Kingsford Original Charcoal delivers the consistent performance and smoky wood-fired flavor barbecuers crave. Kingsford Original lights faster and has a long burn time, giving you the ultimate grilling experience. So grab a bag of Kingsford Original Charcoal. Kingsford.com. Kingsford Original Charcoal lights faster and delivers consistent performance compared to nationally available charcoal in the USA.
If you're preparing your kids for school with an old computer, you might get a frantic call in the middle of the night when problems suddenly crop up. At BLH Computers, you can fill the backpack with laptops that carry the exclusive BLH guarantee. BLH Computers has a big supply available with school budget pricing in mind. So send them off to school and quit worrying with laptops, accessories, and upgrades from BLH Computers in Jacksonville, Taylorville, and Springfield, and always online at blhcomputers.com.
Listen and watch the interviews with today's newsmakers on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe now. Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
And we're in the business spotlight with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And now we talk more with Amanda Williams. She is a client care supervisor with Synergy Home Care. Amanda, State Fair is upon us. And the temperature is going to be hot, but there's going to be plenty of people wanting to get out to the State Fair. Sometimes, though, people may have some trouble getting out there. Synergy Home Care, there to help.
Absolutely, we are. You know, our caregivers can take your loved one out to the fair, or even just go with you if you go as a family. That caregiver can go out there with you, with your family, and help you get that corn dog or any of those fun things. See the butter cow, just all the different sites, but be there to assist your loved one as well to make sure that they're staying hydrated, they're staying cool, and the different things that person would need while they were out there.
And this is obviously, one of the things that shows what Synergy Synergy Home Care can do for you and your loved one, above and beyond just that home care. Of course, the State Fair right upon us, and all kinds of activities to go check out, let alone the delicious food. So you don't have to stay at home. You can contact Synergy Home Care to get that service. Amanda, tell us how people can get that service to the State Fair.
Absolutely. So you can give us a call in our office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But we also have that on-call team that's there, 217-303-8555. Or you can also search us on the web at synergyhomecare.com.
Now, do you have a personal preference as to which corn dog stand?
Both. I mean, come on. It's the natural one.
There's lots of corn dog stands and lots of food, lots of entertainment. Take advantage of Synergy Home Care service to get you to the State Fair so you can get your favorite corn dog. Amanda, thank you so much. And again, give us that phone number. People can get more information about this service.
Absolutely. 217-303-8555.
Amanda Williams, she is a client care supervisor with Synergy Home Care in the Business Spotlight with 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk.
I'm Taylor Stevens, Client Care Manager for Synergy Home Care. We are here for a solution and not a sale. We have a lot of clients that are just companionship, but then we have a lot that we walk through that end-of-life journey. I'm going to call her Sally. Sally was in a rehab. She just wanted to go home because at home she had her husband who she had been married to for 67 years. We got paperwork all done and I brought it back to the team and they were able to turn it around within 24 hours to get it staffed. And this was one of those stories that really just highlights what we do, but also gives you a different perspective on life. We met her at the house, and the moment that they pulled down that door and they rolled her out on that hospital bed, and everybody that was there waiting for her was cheering, it was just this moment like, this is what we do. Her husband came up behind her and grabbed her little hand and was like, "Hi, honey, you're home."
Synergy Home Care, care for everyone.
Back with the Business Spotlight here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. In the Business Spotlight, we've got Synergy Home Care. And Taylor Stevens is the Regional Community Liaison. We were talking about getting people to the State Fair. You're going to be at the State Fair.
Yes, and I'm so excited for so many different reasons. But most importantly, we will have a booth set up August 13th and August 14th. We'll be there with information, some cool little handouts, and really just to say hi and introduce ourselves and let you know what we have going on.
So obviously the State Fair is going to be a buzz of activity. You can contact Synergy Home Care to get to the State Fair so you can see Taylor and others from Synergy Home Care on the fairgrounds. And of course, talk about how people can get a hold of Synergy Home Care.
Yeah, so we have our 24-hour line at 217-303-8555. You can contact anybody there. They're all members of management waiting to troubleshoot at any point.
And have you figured out exactly where you're going to be at the State Fair again?
You know what? They have not given me that information yet. But
they always hold it close to the vest. They always hold it close to the vest. But we'll get that information, obviously, and make sure that people know where they can find Synergy Home Care, along with all of the other great things happening at the Illinois State Fair. But don't forget, you can also call Synergy Home Care to get to the State Fair. So it's a great service that you and your team with Synergy Home Care are offering up.
Yeah, really whatever your normalcy looks like, that's what we're there for. So if really just transportation and a helping hand getting to your favorite concession stand, that's what we're there for.
Synergy Home Care in the Business Spotlight. Taylor, one more time, the contact information.
Absolutely. Our phone number is 217-303-8555, or you can look us up online at synergyhomecare.com.
Taylor Stevens, Regional Community Liaison with Synergy Home Care in the Business Spotlight with 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. All right, that's all we got for today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Absolutely, tomorrow's Friday. So already looking at things we'll have to talk about. Of course, got to get Governor Pritzker's reaction to Senator Jason Plummer saying that the governor's dangerous and doesn't care about the Constitution. We'll also talk about the FOID card and the latest in one of the cases against it. All of that and more. Stay tuned.